Hey, this is HQ. Ran a little late. I looked up and I was reading something, and I looked up and it was 3:31. I said, "Whoa, didn't I say 3:30?" I sure am sorry that I am a little bit late, but I am here now to do our thing with Ashley. Ashley has some interesting people on there this week. Ashley had some very interesting people on there this week, and I was like, "Go ahead on, Ashley, with these girls. The truth with these ladies, okay? You got to tell the truth with these ladies. You got to do what you got to do with some of these ladies." I was like, "Okay, Ashley, go ahead on, level up, do your thing." But it was okay because I'm here for it. I am here for Ashley and her friends. I'm here for Ashley and the ladies. I am here to hear what they got to say. So let's get into it. Let's get into it with the ladies from Ashley and see why we got a problem with these girls. What's going on with these women these days?
Welcome in.
Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Do you consent to be on a platform and potentially all platforms? On a live and potentially all platforms?
I consent.
Okay. All right. What brings you up, doll?
Yeah, so I've been watching your TikToks for a while now. You know how you teach the ladies how to put themselves first, how they should look. I'm 25, and I'm from Rwanda, East Africa, and
It's fucked up when people got to tell you how to groom yourself, comb your hair, take a shower, do all of that. I didn't realize there was an issue like that with the women. Because my mama always told me, make sure I wash between my leg and under my arm. She said, make sure you do those things. I didn't realize not all women got those instructions. So it's fucked up that Ashley got to do that with some people on here. But I digress.
I am ace worker. I don't want to like say it out loud, like that way kind of thing and all kind of thing. So I've never dated or I've never really been in love or something like that. Like I've never like tried to look good. I like to look good. I take care of myself. Like right now, look a mess because it's in the morning. I just woke up.
No, you still look beautiful though.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And being in that world, it has given me like a financial independency, but it's also became a problem into finding love because people, especially men from my country, they definitely do not take me serious. All African men in general, black men in general, they don't take me serious, or um they just want me for my body and everything. So I never really knew how
Sorry. All men want you for your body first. It's up to the woman to teach him that you're more than just your body. All men are gonna come and say, I want sex with you. It is what it is. You don't have to be a hoe. She's not a hoe. She's a regular, ordinary person. Just because I have casual sex doesn't make me a hoe. Stop that. We passed this. We passed that talking point. People are people.
It is to be in a relationship, or how I should carry myself in order to get the right person. So recently I got in kind of like talking relationship with a man who is American. He's Caucasian, mm-hmm. And he's willing to take me as I am. He understands me, and they understand that what I'm doing is for financial independence, and I am not willing to stop unless
this shit is wild. She is what she is. If she hasn't sex, what is she doing on this OnlyFans? Let's see.
I'm being offered something better. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no problem. I accept you as you are. Probably there's some things you have to stop, but I'm not going to ask you to stop, doing what you do.
So wait, I don't get it. So he wants to be with you. He knows you do seg work, right? He knows you do that, but he wouldn't want you to stop doing that. He's not willing to finance your life.
He's willing to help me out. He's not like super rich or anything, but he's okay financially, as he says. I have not met him in person, but he's willing to come and meet me in my country. We have not spoke about either should I stop, and he's willing to take the part that I'm doing right now in terms of financial support. And he's older than me. He's 47 and I'm 25.
Holy shit.
But he's like,
holy shit. I thought she was an OnlyFans chick. One of them OnlyFans chick that get on there and be shaving their legs and shit like that. I didn't know she was on there selling the kudukata. I didn't know she was on there selling the box. What kind of response do you expect? This is a clue for you men. We all don't enjoy sex. Just because they have sex don't mean they enjoy it. Some women know how to separate that shit. Some women know how to separate their box from any kind of emotion. Let's get that clear. Women can do it just like men can do it. Apparently, she can do that. Now, she wants to date for real, but you need to get out of your industry.
I'm not going to ask you to stop unless you want to stop. But he has not told me, okay, if you stop, then I'm going to be taking care of you financially. But he said he wants to marry.
Y'all know what's really fucked up? She's beautiful enough. No, they can't what? What do you mean? She'll be married in 5 years if she got out of the industry. Stop playing. She's pretty enough where she didn't even have to do this industry shit. She could have just got her a rich boyfriend and had him pay her bills. She could have did it like that. She's pretty enough.
Marry me. He wants to propose to me. He's telling all this.
But that doesn't make sense. If let me say this, Lex, if he wants to marry you, then he wouldn't want you to continue in that lifestyle. He wouldn't want you to continue on, giving yourself away. Mm-hmm. And where is he? Is he in America?
Yes, he's in America.
So he's in America. He's 47. He's coming to your country, right? You're in the continent of Africa, right?
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm.
In the history of women on this planet, y'all, to be very respectful to you men, you don't know what you're talking about. Another man's whore is another man's wife. Okay? You keep saying she can't do it. Yes, she can do it. There's plenty of whores that have been made wives. Stop it. So, quite frankly, respectfully, you men don't know what you're talking about when you say she's a whore, she can't be a wife. There's plenty of women that were whores and became wives. I'm saying just step out of it for 5-10 years, you'll get you a husband.
But currently I'm in Asia, but I'm not there right now. I'm in Asia right now.
Okay, you're in Asia. So he wants to come to Asia and marry you. And do you know?
Meet me first. No.
Meet you first. I don't know. That sounds like game, babes. That sounds like game.
I don't know too. So I've never really done it.
I'm challenging you, Project Leroy. You name one whore that did not get married. One famous whore that got online, said I'm a whore, and then waited a couple of years, or didn't even wait no couple of years, and she still got married. Please name her. And she didn't get no husband. And wanted a husband. Not now one. If she looked as pretty as this.
They're saying everyone look, the poll says no. A setup. They're saying a setup. Oh, and what state in America is he from?
Now he's in Ohio, but he's from Atlanta. He's from Atlanta.
He's from Atlanta, but lives in Ohio.
I wish.
He's from Ohio.
No. He currently is in Ohio, but he's from Atlanta. Yeah.
No, something is not clean in the milk. I don't know. I just don't know. They're saying a passport bro. Yeah, I think he is a passport bro. And I think he's selling you a dream. And, let me ask you this now, because this is your line of work, right? You said you're open about what you do. So if he's talking to you, I'm assuming he's not talking to you just to talk to you. He's making sure you're okay. He's sending.
The whole point is not to be online telling people about this stuff. Regular ordinary whores or whatever you call it, if you want to call them, regular ordinary ones get married all the time. No, we're not listening to Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is just expressing the sentiment of some of those men. There's men who will look at her and won't think of her as a whore. And she will be out of the game for 5 years and she will get a husband. It is what it is. Nobody will know nobody on this planet will know. If that girl walked into any kind of gas station in the United States and she's in Asia right now, they would never know that she used to be a prostitute all the way over there. If she gets off the internet right now, if she wouldn't have got on this show, would nobody have known she was a prostitute? Would nobody have known? And they'd have married her if she would have straightened up and flew right. So they can all. I'm not lost. I'm completely found. Maybe you lost. These people can get married out here. That's all I'm saying.
You money.
Not currently. And he will actually, as in today, he told me that he's happy that I'm not as other girls that I haven't asked him for money. I'm like,
no,
I haven't asked.
No.
Who am I naming, Project Leroy? Cuban Link HQ. Name two of them. Name two whores. Who? Kim Kardashian and freaking, I don't know, Lori Harvey? Lori Harvey's mother? What are you talking about? Whores get married every day.
Oh, bye. No. And you should know better. You're literally, this is your line of work.
The real.
How you getting finessed and this is your line of work?
I had done that, but I do it not like trying to. I'm like, we were not like trying to pretend to one another that we're in a relationship. No, everything is transactional. So what I want.
Her mother is married.
He ain't got it, babe. If he's already telling you he's happy, you're not asking. Imagine if you're in a relationship or married. No, he's gonna be looking for you to take care of him. No.
Yeah,
it's a no.
I was confused.
No. If you just want a pen pal or someone you talk to in America to kill some time every so often, go for it. You're grown. But no. He's not even paying a phone bill, the long distance.
The point was they can get married, freak. They can, they can get married. What do you mean? Ice-T's wife. What's her name? I forgot. Coco. Come on now. Kris Jenner was.
What's that you guys are on the phone?
Stop arguing about shit that don't even make no sense. You keep saying they can't get married.
They talking on
yes, and you a sad worker, Lexi. What's going on? Wait. No. Girl.
We've been talking for like only 2 weeks now. It hasn't been long. So on my side, I don't pay for anything. Like there's no like phone bill or anything because like over here you can just buy a SIM card and you can use it for like a whole month without any extra cost.
That's not the point.
But
that's not the point. No.
I see by the comments. Yeah. But the thing now about this is that when it comes to my own men, African men or Black men in general, they don't take me serious or they don't see the potential in me except just what I do. And I feel like Caucasians have always been more open. Like I've never had a relationship with one, but maybe a trick kind of relationship, yes, where they exactly know what I do. They told me they say I should do what I want. They're not really like they're not gonna force me to stop. But of course, some have supported me and gave me what I wanted. And it's never been my main name. It has never been Black man, and I never really understood why.
Yeah, you have to stop telling them. That's what the chat is saying too. You got to stop telling. I guess if you want to be with that guy, but what I think I'm hearing is the clients you're getting, you're trying to be in relationships with them. That's what I'm hearing you say, because you said no, they don't want to be with me. They don't take me serious. So if they're sleeping with you for that reason, right, for your service or whatnot, then yeah, that's what they're there for.
This is why you on the goofy side, young lady. You can't be a sex worker and then have a relationship. You got to get out of that sex. You got to get out of that business for at least 2 to 5 years. Then once you're out of the business for about 2 to 5 years, then you clean up your image, take the shit off the internet, do what you got to do, get you a regular job, and then you find you a regular Joe Blow or somebody else that will love you for yourself. It's possible. I ain't saying it's high. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's or possible. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm saying the best shot you got. But you telling these boys that you used to be a sex worker, specifically seeing as how you in Asia, get the hell out of Asia, go back to Africa, or come to America, do whatever you got to do. and you should be fine. But being where you at, you on here telling people all your business, that you used to be a whore or you still are, and you expect to have a relationship. This is why I say you women are goofy. You women are goofy in that respect. I'm not saying you can't find no husband, because I know that you can, because there's plenty of women out here who did. She looks above average looking. She's above average looking. So I'm not even going to take it away from her. Do what you got to do, lady. Do what you got to do.
They're not, I guess every so often, I'm not saying it can't happen. It's not possible that a guy doesn't fall in love or likes, you know, the girl in that lifestyle. But yeah, it sounds like you're trying to turn your clients out to be like, okay, be with me. That's what I'm hearing. Some of them, I'm not saying.
I got 17 people in here, and you mean tell me y'all can't even give me a like? You can't even give me a like. Please hit that like button. Hit the like button coming in the door. That's the doorbell. You come in the door, you greet the host. Greeting the host means hitting the like button. It's 17 of y'all. It's 3 likes. I need at least 17 likes. Somebody need to hit the like button. Thank you.
All of them.
That's very disrespectful.
Yeah. No, point of correction. I don't meet people in person. This is online work. The OF thing, not in person kind of work. No.
Oh, okay. So this is all online.
This is online, only online, not in person type of work. And the man, this one particularly, he knows exactly what I do, because he actually sent me a DM. We met on Instagram, so he already has been following my Instagram.
The thing is, the man she gets involved with needs to know what she used to do, not the whole internet. The whole internet doesn't need to know anything about what she does. Okay? She needs to tell the man that she gets involved with what she does. When she comes over here and she dates whoever she wants to date, it's up to her to reveal it. And when she does reveal it, she needs to reveal it to the man that she's involved with. Okay? She doesn't have to reveal it to anybody. It's nobody's concern, nobody's business whatsoever what she used to do. That's just like me telling people I used to fucking go-go dance. I mean, I wouldn't tell nobody that unless I would be telling my husband that in some random conversation. She telling everybody this.
Instagram for long, so he's been seeing the links and everything, so he understands what I do. But the other men I'm talking about are people I meet in real life. Like I walk at a cafe or the restaurant and I meet a man. I don't really hide it. Most of the time, I will tell you straight up, I'm into this industry. I'm doing the OF kind of thing, but I don't meet in person. I don't meet anybody in person. This is online.
So you're meeting the man on the first day and you're telling him what it is that you do? That's what you're doing? No.
I want to know about it.
No.
Eventually they will find out.
No. If you're working in a cafe and restaurant, why are you being so upfront about everything? You don't know these men. They could be lying to you about having a wife, 2 kids, 3 side chicks, a girlfriend at home. You don't know. No. You just supposed to be step 1. What's your favorite color? Okay. What are you looking for in a person? We're talking about basic things right now. Where do you work? In the cafe that you met me in. That's where I work.
Yeah, shut your dumb ass up.
All right, thank you for that. I think I've been.
What do you mean Cassie didn't even tell her husband? It blew up in her face. Her and her husband still together. What you mean? It did nothing blow up in her face. He knew everything. That man knew everything.
I'll be doing that. It's just that sometimes I'm just too honest. I'll be telling them as it is, because I'm like, I don't have nothing to hide and everything. So I'm straight up. It's clear, so the person gets to find.
No, dumbass. We trying to tell you. Don't be. No, you didn't. No, you wild. No, you didn't. Yes, he did. He knew everything, B. Wyatt. Yes, he did.
Without finding out from me. Okay, so I should be.
Don't meet up with that man. Don't meet up with that man from Ohio.
He didn't
Absolutely
like it.
Not.
He didn't like it, and he didn't like the world knowing, but he knew.
Absolutely not.
But he's coming to me, so what should I tell you?
No. Tell him no. See, now it changes too, because what I'm hearing you say is the type of work you do is only online. I'm assuming you were a girl who was out there, like you were on the streets, you know. So I'm assuming you know how to move and handle yourself. No. You don't know what this man is. You don't know. No, you've never been in proximity to these men that you're saying you're with. There's no. That can change things, my love. That can put you in a very dangerous situation if that's not the lifestyle you're in. They're saying block. Don't do it. Yeah.
She ain't out there on the street selling the box or nothing like that. She doing those nudie movies on TV. Oh, wow. Okay. She doing the nudie movies on TV. Okay. I got you.
Yeah. They're saying don't do it. No, baby girl. No. Absolutely no. I'm being very serious, Lexi. No.
I understand, my love. The comments you saying that I'm a naive ace worker, that's not naiveness, because just because somebody does this type of work doesn't mean they're gonna be heartless or they're gonna be hardcore. You're gonna be hardcore to do this. Yes, you have to develop some type of resistance to deal with this man, because dealing with this type of man is not easy. But yes, I'm not really naive about it, but also since it's the first person that has like say, okay, you know what, I like you for who you are, and I would definitely want to marry you and everything, and I'm willing to come and meet you where you are. And actually, something that I did mention, he's trying to come and meet me in Thailand. I am having some surgical procedure in Thailand. He was like, who are you gonna be with? I'm like, I'm gonna be alone. He was like, why would you be alone when you need somebody to take care of you after surgery? I was like, well, what should I do? I mean, there's nurses who are gonna be taking care of me, but there's nobody specifically that take care of me. And he's like, yeah, I'll come and be there with you, help you out.
The nurses, no. This is a stranger. You don't know him. You don't know.
Yeah, she's a little goofy. She's on the goofy train with the young naive kids who think that I gotta be transparent with everything. I gotta tell everything. I gotta reveal everything. I gotta even tell them on the first date because they gotta accept me for who I am. That's not how that works. Okay, it's never how it works. You don't tell a stranger anything about you unless they already have an idea of what you do. Then you really don't have to reveal anything, or you can just go a little bit further and then explain. But if they don't know nothing about you, that's not the first thing you reveal to people when you're dating them. That's definitely not something I would say on the first date. I don't know. Is this sex trafficking here? I don't know whether this is sex trafficking or not. I don't know what the hell that girl doing. Yeah.
You said.
Go ahead.
Hello, HQ. Hello, HQ.
Yeah. Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm fine. What's up?
Okay, you seem really aggressive, so I just thought I'd jump in for a minute. And the first thing I want to say is I love you and I love everybody in chat, and I appreciate the opportunity before we get started with these shenanigans.
No, I'm not. I'm fine. I'm good.
Oh yeah, that's what they all say. They all start off with "I'm fine," and it's very aggressive. It's very aggressive, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Fine.
So okay, what was the things that you? It seemed like there was a lot of confusion on what men are saying. And
no,
what, you're not even gonna let me finish before you jump in. Go ahead. Go ahead. Vipers out. Go ahead.
No. What was confusing? I don't understand. Oh, no, I can't. You got to tell me because I can't remember. I can't remember all of it. So what do you?
Oh,
mean?
You don't remember what you said? Okay, I got you.
I remember what I said. I just don't remember.
Okay, do you want to start with the Cassie? Do you want to start with the whore? What part do you want to start with?
Oh, the Cassie thing.
Okay, first of all, as men, we don't mind whores. We don't mind whores. We're not mad at whores.
Right.
But don't be a whore and try to tell us you a housewife. Then we become thinking you a housewife, and then you get in the house, and now we find we got a goddamn whore. That's the problem.
Well, there ain't no problem because she already done told you.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm saying that's men in general. I'm sharing you what men think. Okay, so when we meet somebody and they got eyelashes and BBLs and super wigs and all that other madness,
it doesn't make you a whore.
That is not what we're saying. If you play yourself as the whore, we're fine with that. And when we meet Betty at the library, and she's a librarian, and she says she wants to become a wife, we understand that. What we're saying as men, we get confused when Betty at the library comes in the house being a wife, and then she wants to be the whore. That's where the men's confusion is. I'm not asking you to understand it. I'm sharing with you from the men's perspective. That's what I'm saying. When Betty has told me all the time she strived to be a librarian, an educated woman, but now she want to be an outside cat and be in the streets. That's what we're saying as men.
Oh, okay.
That's the confusion for men.
Okay. That's not the issue that I addressed.
Okay, but I know, but I'm giving you the perspective to me that I think is missing.
I completely get that.
This, okay, thank you. Now we got that. Now the other cube is, and I'm sorry for rushing. The other cube is this lady here is breaking what's called a communication rule. The communication rule is called the rule of disclosure. When you first meet somebody, you don't want to hear a toxic dump.
Right.
You want to hear like 4 basic foundational rules.
Right.
Conversation should go in. Hey, are you mid-political?
You went all the way out. We can't hear anything you said. We haven't heard anything you said after dump.
Okay, that's it.
You went out there again.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. One of the things is called the rule of disclosure. When you meet somebody, there's a couple of conversations should be off the table or they should be lightly touched.
Right.
It shouldn't go super, super deep. But this lady right here, it seems like she toxic dumps with everybody she meets.
Right.
It's the person at the bus stop. You say, hey, how you doing? The general answer should be what?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Right. Hey, I'm doing good. Oh, it's not my best day. Mm-hmm. Boom. And then it should keep going. She's the person who say, hey, by the way, I got an OnlyFans and for $12.99. That's her. That's the problem in that conversation.
Yeah, which is what I said to her. I said, you're revealing everything on the first date. So you're not getting anywhere on these dates since you keep going. You keep trying to date your customers or your John. That makes no sense because they already know you're a whore. Why would you try to date those men off the bat?
So thank you for clearing that up. And this is what I was trying to say in the chat, and I probably wasn't communicating it properly. She doesn't have the communication tools or the model to walk her through it. Mm-hmm. So she hasn't had somebody practice, which I always say is the social skills. And then when Ashley is trying to talk to her, she's getting upset or she's raising her stress level and she's doing that African clucking where she's like, well, and then the more she talks, the less people can understand. So she just ends up chirping versus sitting back and just saying, let me take this lesson in.
Because she seems to know, well, I know what I am, so I can do X, Y, and Z. And Ashley is saying, no, you cannot. That's not how you approach dating. First of all, you should have got out of profession. You should have been out of that profession at some point. You should have said, okay, I know a man I would be involved with would not want me to be a sex worker. Sometimes the money becomes good and you don't stop. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. It's easy money. So she's going to have sex. As much as she makes the money, she's going to be fine with that. Okay, fine. Then don't expect to find a husband. Don't expect to find anybody worthy of being a husband or wanting you to be their wife if you don't get out of the profession first and foremost. And my argument was she can find somebody to get married to. Simply get out of the area in which you are, close your mouth, and act like you want to be married in some way, shape, or fashion. But you have to be out of that profession for a good minute so that people can forget it or you can bury it or you can do something. But you can't be a wife or a girlfriend right now. That was my argument.
Okay, so you're saying that whores
Mhm.
and housewives have to have some kind of division. You said the same thing I just said earlier. You just said it a sexier way. The
Mhm.
other thing is the internet is undefeated.
Mhm.
You're saying, go ahead.
No, no, I'm saying,
So you're saying her running her mouth is bad, but I
yes.
guarantee you there's other stuff out there
Mhm.
that she don't know is out there.
Mhm.
There's a couple of people who have been in the porn industry. There's a couple of people, or corn industry. I'm sorry. They've been in the corn industry. They've been on OnlyFans. They've made a lot of money, but they didn't have an exit game plan. They were pole dancers. They didn't have an exit plan. They didn't have a financial plan, because you go from making $100 a week to making $8,000 a week.
Right.
You think that's going to last until the end of time versus like, hey, damn, I need to make a plan, because you already behind in your bills.
Right.
And then you start learning enhancements, BBLs, augmentations,
But we have to
channels.
understand. We heard what is his name? Poppy Blanco. We heard Poppy Blanco. When you first get in the industry, when you first get in it, you the hot property. You're going to make the most money when you first get in it. But as time goes on, you're going to be just like every other person. You have to have a game plan. If you're going to get into this business, you need a game plan to get out of the business,
Right.
because you cannot stay in that business for years and years. I can understand if you got into it January 1st and you said, I'm going to make as much money as I can. I'm going to do all the things I need to get my money up, get my shit right, and then get out. And I'm only going to do it for a year and a half or two. Okay, fine. Do it for a year and a half or two, whatever you're going to do. But don't expect to be in it every day for 5 years, 10 years down the road, and then want a husband later on. Okay.
Right. So we're saying kind of the same thing. We're in the same thing. I'm gonna end with Cassie, and then I'm gonna get off and then I'll listen. Okay.
Okay.
What I was saying about Cassie is you played Cassie as some hero, blah, 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 blah. And then you see how that turned out. Cassie was just as much of a villain. She was just on the lower level. The other thing is Cassie didn't tell her husband everything. Cassie was dating somebody else when she was dating him. She was still true to Puffy when she was dating him. That all came out in the court case. It also came out that he knew a little bit, but he didn't know the whole story. AKA, she told him what's called trickle truth. AKA, I met him, but I didn't do nothing. Then you find out later, well, she met him and then she was kissing him. Well, I wasn't kissing him. He was kissing me. It's all those little spins of the truth. So what I'm talking about, even though her husband knew some parts of it, when they went to court, she asked him to leave the room because she had to tell the court the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a story that she told him. That's what.
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
Listen. You know I'm a sex worker. So when I say sex worker, all I need to tell you is a sex worker, and you already have an idea of what I do. You already have an idea. Well, we had sex. I had sex with multiple people. I got pissed on, blah, 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 right? Do I need to tell you that I put somebody's toes in my mouth? Do I need to tell you all of that for you to understand that I was a sex worker? Yes, she did tell her husband that she was a sex worker. Yes, she did tell him the most pertinent parts. And he still said yes, which means he knew that she did sex and she had all of these things. People keep saying, oh, he didn't know she was a sex. Yes, he did. He just didn't know the details, which is probably he didn't want to know the details.
Stop it right now. Stop it right. I'll shut this shit down. Stop it right now. You're gaslighting. You're gaslighting, because here's what happened. She said, yeah, I was a sex worker, but she didn't fill in the details. Here's how. Okay, go ahead.
I just said that same thing. I don't need to tell you details when I'm a sex worker, because you already have an idea of what a sex worker is. Every person in this chat, if I say I sold box for money, your brain go all the way to the left with every imaginable thing I could have did, or every imaginable degenerate thing that your brain can think of.
HQ, put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. No, you just made me think of something. You're right. You are right. Hold on a second. I just realized a communicational tool is missing. As men, we don't need to be accusatory, or anybody who catches somebody. We don't need to be accusatory. So accusatory is like, you were selling your box, right? That's accusatory. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
We need to say, well, what was your best day like? And what was your darkest day like? And when you say that, give me the range.
Mm-hmm.
AKA, when you tell me you're a sex worker, usually when people say that, they add a disclaimer. I'm going to show you a disclaimer, but I'm not going to use sex. Hey, I'm not a racist, but hey, I was doing sex work, but I was only doing hand jobs. That's how it's sold. It's sold that, hey, this is blunt, but I'm going to put a disclaimer to soften it. Are you with me so far?
Yeah, but you're assuming she put a disclaimer to soften it. You can do it either way. You can put a disclaimer to soften it. Me, I would have said I was a sex worker, and anything you can imagine that could be done, I did.
I understand that, but
like that.
But that's what I'm saying. She didn't say, hey, by the way, I'm a sex worker. Oh, and people was pissing in my mouth. She didn't say that. She didn't say that. And that's what I'm saying is those little, hold on a second. I'm saying those little things are wrinkles where you're saying, oh, the man should have known. But I'm saying as a communication tool, when somebody's being transparent, you have to ask them to dig a little deeper. And it's going to be shameful for them to admit that they did certain things for money. But here's what it will do. You don't get surprised because it's on the internet, because it's on a photo. By the way, Cassie never thought in her dreams that Puffy was going to get, this was going to happen, and she was going to be in front of everybody telling her story about what happened. She never dreamed that. But if you are transparent and not ask the person to imagine, or they should know, that's some bullshit that women go on. Men don't. How do we know what you think? And how do we know what the expectation? How do we don't know that unless you say that.
So my question is this. He's a man. Why didn't he ask her what all she did?
I just said that's a communication tool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That was the hard thing we learned out of this conversation here. That's all.
He didn't ask her. So he didn't ask her, which meant he didn't want to know. Which meant
that's you assuming. I just
with the sex worker title. With me, well, I guess with me, I'm just a different person. When you tell me I'm a sex worker, I imagine all the things that you could have did, and anything that might come out of the closet is not going to be a boogeyman to me, because I've already accepted that you're a sex worker. I'm assuming he accepted her as a sex worker. She just didn't want him to know the detail. That's it. Because it takes a certain level of human being to look at a person and know they're a sex worker, know they're this, that, and the third, and say, I'll take you anyway. Because you all men's knee-jerk reaction is, ooh, I don't want to deal with no sex worker. Why wouldn't his knee-jerk reaction be the same thing? Why wouldn't he feel the same way y'all felt? Because he didn't feel the same way y'all felt. Because he didn't. His knee-jerk reaction wasn't, oh, she a sex worker. No. From the minute they got together, he never moved away from her side, which means he accepted everything that came down the pike when it came to her as a sex worker. Otherwise, he'd have had the reaction that you all seem to have. Wrong or right, every person on here, every man on here, damn near every man on here, look at a woman. If she got more than 3 or 4 bodies, they look at her as a whore. Why is it that he didn't look at her? Why didn't he walk away? He had an opportunity to walk away. He had an opportunity to walk away, and he worked in the industry with Diddy. He worked for Diddy. He knew Diddy. He knew what the fuck Diddy was up to. Everybody knew what the fuck Diddy was up to. So you can't tell me he didn't know what she was doing. So when you say, well, she didn't tell him. Yes, she did tell him, and he knew, and he could assume. He just didn't know the details. I mean, I know my husband slept with X, Y, and Z women. I never asked him, well, did you put her legs up in the air? Did she piss in your mouth? I never asked them details because I don't care about them details. Some people didn't care about them details. He's probably one of those people. So yes, he did know. He just didn't know the whole detail of it, because you can't cry foul now. You can't cry, no, I didn't know. I knew she was a sex worker. I mean, I knew she was Diddy's blah, blah, blah. I knew they had sex parties. I knew all of that. Yes, the man knew. He just didn't know details. There's a difference between knowing the general and not knowing the detail. A lot of us accept that shit all day, every day of shit. A lot of us accept stuff that we don't know the details of. That don't even make sense.
Oh, this man, point blank, period. All you know is he's telling you he lives in Ohio and lives in Atlanta. He could lives deep down in Alabama for, you know, have a wife, have kids. You don't know who you're dealing with, is what I'm saying. He could be Mike Myers or Freddy Krueger, coming with a bag of tools.
Wow, that's just something to consider.
Yeah, it is something to consider. Yeah. You don't know him. And just because you have grown an emotional connection, I get it. Y'all talked on the phone and it sounds good. That's all it is.
What in the fuck? Yes, Pan.
Peace. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Yes,
you
and
heard the discussion we were having, right?
Yeah, that's why I called in to comment on that.
So, okay, make your comment about, we're talking about Cassie, right? Oh, shoot, just bit my tongue. Make your comment about Cassie. Wow.
All right, and if you got any agave nectar in the house, take some of that. Yeah, it'll cure your bit tongue. But it's not just about Cassie, because I never want to speak on a woman I don't know. But I will say this. If a woman's past is so promiscuous and so, for lack of a better word, freaky, men have a right to opt not to take her seriously romantically.
Absolutely.
So if she was urinated on, then especially a man like me, I'ma just opt not to even deal with her sexually, let alone romantically.
Right.
So yes, men have a right to have a standard, just like women have a right to have a standard.
Right. So my question to you is this. Here's the quibble that we all have, the quibble that people are having in the chat. They're saying that her husband didn't know. I'm saying, no, he didn't know the details, but he knew she was a sex worker. He knew she was doing the sex worker thing. He didn't know that she got pissed in the mouth. He didn't know she X, Y, and Z, but he did know she was doing sex work, multiple men, blah, blah, blah. He did know that. That's my argument. My argument is,
I hear you.
Wait a minute. And then my argument is, what's your knee-jerk reaction? You just came up here and you gave it to me. Most men's knee-jerk reaction is going to be, oh, she a sex worker, I ain't gonna deal with her. So if Cassie told him that she was doing X, Y, and Z with Diddy, this man works with Diddy, so he already had an idea of what Diddy was doing. Why would it be a surprise? Why would everybody think it's a surprise to him that she was doing what she was doing? Why didn't he have the same knee-jerk reaction that all of you men have? Why did he run towards her instead of running away from her?
Yeah, wow. Let me answer that. And definitely he is a simp for wifing a woman that he knew was a sex worker,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe he felt like it's levels to the freakiness, and
Yes.
maybe he felt like, all right, pardon my expression, he might have felt like, all right, she's selling the pussy,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe he had to draw the line when he found out that she was getting urinated on. Maybe he could deal with the fact that she was selling the vagina,
Mm-hmm.
but the limit that he had was the urination factor.
What
So I
limit?
guess that's where he drew the line.
Women, what limit? What do you mean? What limit?
Well, are you saying he take objection to her being urinated on?
I mean, did he speak in court?
I'm not sure about that. I was responding to what you
No,
said.
he
I don't
did
know.
he didn't speak in court. He didn't say anything in court. I'm saying uh he didn't say anything about what she did. He came back to support her. He left court with her. He came to court with her. We haven't heard anything about them breaking up. We haven't heard anything in the news
Oh,
that man
okay.
is saying that man is running out the door. So I'm saying to you, someone said earlier, they said Cassie and her husband are in trouble. Why would they be in trouble? We ain't heard no. She got plenty of money. He got plenty of money. They can separate right now, and
Yeah,
everybody
if
understands.
he's smart, he'll get up out of there. And let me just give this word of advice to the young men listening.
I'm
If you're
pretty sure that he knew the when if I tell my husband I'm a sex worker, don't your mind go to the worst case scenario of what a woman did?
definitely,
Okay,
and
so when
I'm
she
sure.
told her husband, I was doing sex work, blah blah blah, he already knew what she was doing. He just didn't know the details.
That's
So
a good point. That's a
so
good point.
since you accepted me as a sex worker and you married me as a sex worker, what problems do me and you got to have after that if I say I got pissed on? Because you already
But
knew.
that's the problem right there. That's a big problem. And just because he accepted her initially, don't
Mhm.
mean he can't change his mind. You
Yeah,
always
that's
have a right to change your mind. And let me
okay.
give this brief advice to the youth right quick. All the young men listening. If your woman got pissed on, leave her immediately whenever you find out. And to the young women listening, 18 and up, don't allow yourself to be used as a toilet.
Mm.
You're more
Yeah.
valuable than that. Cherish yourself.
Yes, that's my whole point. No, I would never put a person in a position to say, okay, you got to accept it. All I'm saying to you is this: you can't be in the middle of doing that and expect to be somebody's wife, like this young lady on screen. I'm saying this young lady on the screen, she only been doing it for a couple months. Cut that shit out right now. Cut it out right now. Get off the internet. Don't speak of it again. Delete whatever you can delete. When you get to the point where you want to be in a relationship, the person may or may not accept you. It just depends. But there are men out there that will accept you for doing this kind of stuff. It
But
just is
please let
what.
me say this though. Please let me say this. I respect her honesty because that gives the men the power of discernment as to
Mhm.
whether or not he wants to be in a relationship with a
Yeah.
woman that has been urinated on, with a woman that has sold her body. So he's not
Yeah,
going into it blindly.
but listen to this. Listen to this. I had pushback in the audience, and men kept saying, nobody's going to marry her. Yes, they will marry her.
There's some suckers that will marry her. It
Somebody
is.
married Kim Kardashian. Somebody
Good
married
point.
Lori Harvey's mother. Ice-T married Coco. I'm not saying they were I'm not saying they were actual prostitutes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying was these are beautiful enough women where people will marry these women, and ordinary individual women can do the same thing. They may
Yeah.
not get the same man on the same scale, but you can't sit here and say, ain't no man gonna marry him. Yes, they will.
Yes. And I'm going to pass the mic to Black America after I say this. It'll be one sentence. Never underestimate the determination of the simp. He going to
Mm-hmm.
wipe that whore. He going to wipe
Mm-hmm.
that whore and be proud of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Black America, what you say to that?
Hello, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So with I'm just kind of listening to you, right? With Cassie, did this is my only thing. Did she actually tell her husband that she was a sex worker?
I don't know. I
Do,
can't say
do,
that. I can't say that.
okay, good. So,
But
and
she
that's what
but he worked for Diddy. So he knew Diddy did the wild parties and he knew Cassie did the wild parties with him.
so this is what I want to say, right? About the wild parties. HQ, it was Diddy was on trial, right? It was Cassie, one other girl, and male prostitutes, right? That was having sex with Cassie. So with that, that lets us know, that lets all of us know that this was a very niche thing, that only about 4 or 5 people were involved. It was Cassie, it was another girl, and it was about 3 or 4 men. Nobody outside that circle knew what the hell they was doing. Diddy was just standing around watching the people do the things that they do. When I was young, right, growing up in LA, uh, my dad had a bunch, like my uncles, they were a bunch of like famous people, right? And they hung out with famous people. They used to go to Magic Johnson house, and Magic Johnson used to have those parties. You know what the thing was my dad told me when I got about 15, 16? Magic Johnson told them at 10 o'clock, if you're not fucking, it's time for you to leave my house. That's what Magic Johnson used to say at his house parties. If you're not fucking, it's time for you to leave at 10 o'clock. So what I'm telling you is, yes, everybody went to the parties, everybody had a great, lovely time. It was only 4 or 5 people that were doing these things. Cassie Cassie wasn't didn't have to tell because nobody knew. She was having sex with prostitutes and 1 or 2 other girls, and that was it. So I just want to say that no, her husband did not know about it. Okay, I didn't know that her husband worked for Diddy. I've met Diddy on several occasions here in Vegas. I didn't see anything funny about it when they had the party at my hotel. I didn't see anything funny about it. But once again, I didn't stay all night long and I didn't stay in the room with them all night long. So what I'm saying is when people like that, they're doing their thing. We have a whole sex club out here in Vegas, okay? Where you go, you pay $40, you get in, and you see a bunch of stuff. You see anything that you want to see. You can join in and all type of stuff, right? It's just like an open sex. It's a sex club. What I'm saying is, I don't think the husband knew, and even if you did know about somebody being a sex worker, I put in the chat. Have you ever been to the donkey show in Mexico?
Wait a minute.
That donkey charges across the bar at that young girl that's bent over to stick it in. That's not that's not something that you say, oh, that's just some regular sex work shit. That is some real crazy gut turning stuff, HQ. So I don't know anything if she told him or he worked for Diddy. Nobody knows what he did. I don't know who he is. You know who he is, her husband?
No, he was Diddy's personal trainer, then he was her trainer. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? A personal trainer, you meet them at 12 in the afternoon. They're not involved in your life. I
But
trained many of people.
Black America HQ actually did make a great point. When a woman tells you that she was a sex worker, or you have knowledge that she was a sex worker, or even promiscuous, you have to assume the worst because most likely she's not going to tell you. So if this man, I don't know, what his race is, or
He
whoever
was
Cassie's husband is,
white.
if he had knowledge that she was into the sex world, if she was a sex worker, or even if she was just promiscuous, it's his obligation as a man to assume the worst and act accordingly. Really.
But nobody, no woman, listen. I've been in the streets a long time, right? A very long time. Drugs and hoes, the whole nine. Hoes, women that are in that life, they are not announcing to people that they are prostitutes or that they're selling box. And what I'm saying is, even if they were talking, she's the personal trainer, she's not saying that she was selling her body or and not and
But
because she
I mean,
didn't even
but what is your argument? You're arguing to us that he didn't know. The husband did know. He knew.
why do you think he knew? That just answer me. Why do you think he knew?
Because she got it. Because for one, you can make assumptions about Diddy's lifestyle. You can make as many assumptions as nobody knew, but everybody knew how wild his lifestyle was. Period.
What do you mean? What do you
Everybody,
mean?
hold on. Everybody who hung around him knew what his lifestyle was.
And that's what I'm
Nobody
saying.
knew about the wild. Nobody made. Let's just take the sex parties out of it. That husband was in that trial every day. The only time he was not in that trial to hear about anything was the time she described Diddy raping her. That's the only time. Hold on.
What?
That's the only time he was not in the courthouse, was when she described how Diddy raped her. She asked him to leave because she didn't want him to hear that part. But he heard everything else. So he knew about everything else and he accepted everything else. Okay. Everybody keeps saying, yes, he do.
I'm just gonna say that's patently false. I'm just gonna say that it's patently false.
I'm reading the transcript right now. He was not in there on that day. That's the only day he wasn't there. He was there every day.
But Black America, I'm confused. Are you saying that he should not have seen it coming?
No. This is what I'm saying. Let's say HQ works for Denzel Washington, right? Denzel is a cool guy. He got 4 or 5 people that he really tight with. Nobody knows outside of that circle group of 4 or 5 people what Denzel was doing. Now, 15, 20 years later, it's all kind of gang bangs and all type of stuff like that going on. I went to a Denzel party. Him and his wife, they was lovely people. What I'm saying is nobody knows. You can assume.
No, Black America, I think you're missing the point, brother. I'm gonna ask you just directly. Now, I don't know how old you are. I'm 37. I was born in '88. Now, even me growing up, I heard different rumors about P. Diddy. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's false. But if I met a woman that used to be in a relationship with Diddy, I'ma automatically assume she's with the shits. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. Wouldn't you?
Automatically assume that she's with the same shit.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying, fam.
This is the whole thing about it. Then that means that every woman that has ever been with me, you would have to assume that same shit.
But let's focus on the
You
topic.
see what I mean?
But
No.
let's focus on the topic.
So listen to what I'm saying, Pan.
But you're not known for having wild parties. You're not known for that. Diddy is known for that. Diddy is known for carrying guns. Diddy is known for these things. So that's a certain lifestyle.
HQ.
When a
HQ.
woman, but hold on, money. But when a woman gets
me too.
like that, So I'm saying, when a woman gets involved with a man like that, you have to assume she's with a man. She doesn't mind a man carrying a gun. She don't mind a man pulling a gun out. She don't mind a man fucking broads in the alley. She don't mind that. When you get with a certain type of man, you take that lifestyle and you live with it. So most people already knew that Diddy was with the shit. So if you tell me I used to date P. Diddy, you gonna ask me all about what y'all get into? What was the parties like? Blah 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 blah. She told that man exactly everything he needed to know in order for that man to marry her.
Believe me, I doubt it. I doubt that she told him that. Believe me, this is the difference. I put all of those names in the thing. Superhead, Mia Khalifa, people like Lisa Ray, Tracy Ellis Ross, all of these women, Vivica Fox, all of their things have been out front and in the open. And guess what? All of those women can't have a successful relationship. You know why? Because every other man in the world knows. And I only deal with black women. Once again, I never touched anything else but a black woman. Every brother know that this broad is damaged goods. That's all they know. These women are no good to anybody. So they all go on the internet crying. Even the girl Cookie from whatever TV show that was Cookie. All of these women have to go on the internet crying because they cannot maintain a successful relationship.
Yeah, but respectfully, these are superstars and they have a different level of air that they breathe. They different, they totally different than what we are. They got the opportunity that they can get a divorce every 5 minutes if that's the case. Most regular, normal human beings will get married, and there's some of them that have been married and have horror past and still got married. That's just like the everyday normal regular people. They just got more money in order to get a divorce. Nobody's relationship is working out to the point of success except 25%, which is what we're married, the rate we're married at or whatever. So it's in the poor community and in the rich community. So it don't matter one way or the other. You have whores in it and you have whores outside of it. You can never underestimate the power of the simps. I'm with Pan on that. They will get married. They can get married. They can stay married. It don't matter.
Yeah, facts.
It don't matter. So I say clean your act up. Get out of the business. If you're a whore, get out of the business. Clean your shit up. Stay off the internet for 2 years. Go find you a simp and you can get married. But don't say they can't get married because they damn sure can. They damn sure can. And it don't matter whether they rich or poor.
So that's not my thing, is if they can get married. I'm talking about getting married and being married successfully. You see what I mean? Because
there's some that are married
and that's where we were saying name one successful publicized public whore that is successfully married. And
I can name one, and I'm not even gonna call her a whore. Well, let me name one.
Coco would hold on.
Where's the uniform?
Exactly. Coco was Ice-T. Coco was, you would have told all of us men that women can wear what they want to wear. HQ.
Hold on, but Black America, I can give you a better example, brother.
You all thought of what a whore is. She's a whore.
No.
By you
but HQ, let me give him an example though. Let me give him a better example. And I'm not even saying that
we don't have it. Hold on 1 second. Hold on before you go. We don't have an example of Coco having sex with anyone. We have an example of Superhead sucking everybody in the dicks. Everybody's dick in the industry. We have an example of Mia Khalifa on film having sex in pornography. There is no examples nowhere. No man has ever came out and said they ever been with Coco, but who? Ice-T. There's no examples. There's no proof that she's a whore. So now go ahead, Pan, and say what you're saying, sir.
Eve, bro.
Eve. Eve.
Are you talking about Eve from Rough Riders?
Yes, bro.
Okay, so give me an example of and and I've hung out with her a few times. Give me an example of two guys she been with that's in the industry, bro. Give me an example of two men that she has been with publicly in the industry.
And let me just say this, and I'm not even gonna go through a Rolodex, but anyone can Google
You
who she been
you
romantically
can't
linked
do
with,
it.
bro. I can, but I'm not about
No,
to.
that
Hold on, hold on. Let me answer your question, bro. Let's go one mic at a time. I'm not about to go through this woman's whole body count that I allegedly don't even know. But what I'm saying is she's been romantically linked to multiple men in the industry, and she still was able to find a Caucasian that wifed her and had no problem with it. I think they
in
even got
another
kids together.
country, in another
Exactly.
country,
Exactly.
in
Yeah,
another country.
but the point
Once
is,
again,
a whore can find her a husband. I'm just
Exactly.
saying, a whore can find her a husband. People keep saying, and they can successfully stay married. Y'all call Steve Harvey's wife a tramp or whatever, and they successfully married. Y'all call Coco one, even though she dressed with her clothes off like that.
no man, HQ, no man, and I think even Pan is going to agree with me on here. No man respects
Sierra,
Steve Harvey.
y'all call Sierra pass around.
No,
Successfully married.
no man respects Steve Harvey, and no man respects Russell Wilson. HQ,
Hold on, but
men
Black
don't
Black
respect
America,
these.
hold on, but Black America, you are omitting the existence of the simp, brother. You can't acknowledge. I mean, you have to acknowledge that they exist, bro.
Right. So now they not
Do
whole.
men do men do men respect simps? Do men respect simps, Pam?
I'm not saying they do. What I'm saying is a simp gonna wife that whole.
So,
Yes. That's all we
no,
say.
no,
All we say.
that's not what we're saying.
Well,
That's not what we're
that's what
saying.
we're saying.
It
But that's
it
what we're
it
saying.
it,
Like,
it only matters if it is a well respected man. If you it's like a homosexual. We don't consider them men. Not saying that they're not male, but when we are having a discussion about things, we don't say, hey, let's find a gay guy and ask him about this thing. Because their opinion doesn't matter. A simp's opinion doesn't matter. No man respects Steve Harvey. No man respects Russell Wilson. You won't find any black men in this country in mass that respects those two men to, to say anything.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
But you
you won't.
missing the point, though,
yeah,
bro.
respectfully, you all said in the chat that a whore can't get married. My premise or my thought was, what I said was, yes, they can get married, and there's simps out there that will marry them. So yes, whores, throwaways, 304, whatever you want to call them. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying on the scale, men's scale, who call them whores, they can get married. This young lady,
Exactly.
she's in Asia doing what she doing. Come to America, come to California, okay? Come to California. This young lady, bring her to California, clean her up, put her in a respectable job, put her in a resort or something crazy like that. She will find a man to
The
marry.
simp gonna fly you out.
She will find a man. So I'm saying, don't ever say a woman who's a whore can't get married, because yes, she can. It just takes the right simp, the right dude to say, yes, I can.
Exactly.
That's not what we're saying.
We didn't say anything about
That's not what we're saying.
respect. We didn't say nothing about that. What we said was a simp will marry these women. That's all we said. We didn't say no respect. We didn't say none of that.
And I gotta ask, why you won't just admit that though, bro? Because you know it's true. You know it's true, bro.
I know what's true, sir. Tell me what's true.
You know for a fact that it's going to be a simp that's going to wife these whores. You seen it in real life. We all have. Think about when you was in college, or we'll go ahead and make it.
I haven't seen it in real. I haven't seen it in real life. I don't know any respectable man that's married to a whore, a trick, a slut, a bitch from the street that multiple
Hold on,
men
brother.
have
I didn't even say.
took
I
to
didn't say a.
dinner.
Hold on, Black America. I didn't say a respectable man. I said a simp.
Yes. 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 And maybe in some cases not a simp.
Can I ask you a question, Pan? How many men that are in your circle that you know that are simps? Let me ask you that. Maybe that's a better question.
I'm
How
gonna
many
answer
men?
honestly. Let me answer you, brother. Let me answer
You all
you.
make sure
And
you
I'll
like
even
button
expand
coming
it.
in the door, like button coming in the door, please. That's the doorbell. Ring the doorbell, please.
And I'll even expand it outside of my inner circle. I'll just say the guys from my neighborhood, the guys that I grew up with. Bro, if I go back to my town that I grew up in Maryland right now, I would say damn near, shit, if I had to put it to a percentage, I might say 60% of them are in relationships with women that have been passed around through the community, and they don't got no problem with it for the most part. I'm keeping it real. They got kids with them. A lot of them are married to them. I'm just talking about reality, bro.
And most women are not virgins. Most women that are over the age of 21 or 22 are not virgins. And if they're 30, they've had more than 3 or 4 lovers. So those are regular, ordinary, individual women. I'm not saying those women are whores. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying on here, a lot of men consider them whores. Okay. And they marry every day, 20, 30 years old. We have simps on this planet. Don't y'all think it's just as many simps as it is whores on this planet? Don't y'all think it's just as many people who would marry whoever, who fall in love? I'm saying Cassie's husband knew. He wasn't blindsided or anything else. Cassie's husband knew, because the minute she told him she was having sex with X, Y, and Z, his imagination took off, just like every other person's, every other human being's. She probably didn't elaborate. She probably didn't color it in. She probably did over the years, but yes.
And what I'm telling you is, HQ, I understand what Pan is saying, and I understand what you are saying about the simps. But what I am saying is, there are not that many simps out here walking around like that. I'm sorry.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Kid, you crazy. There's plenty of them out there. There's
Yeah, it's a lot, bro.
of them out there.
It's strip clubs full of simps right now, brother.
Plenty of
It's
them out
OnlyFans.
there.
It's OnlyFans
No,
subscriptions full of simps right now, brother.
no,
Keep it real.
okay. No. So, have you ever been to a strip club before, Pan?
A few times.
A few times. Do you consider yourself a simp?
No, I wasn't tripping off, but if I was tricking off, I would have been a simp at that time. I would have been engaging in simping. That's
It
a fact.
it's tricking if you go spend money and go enjoy yourself and have fun.
If you tricking off on the stripper that's shaking the ass in your face, yes, you a
No,
simp, bro.
I, oh, okay. Well, I guess we have
It's
different
tricking, and I'll give you another
things.
example, brother.
I
Also, if you subscribe to an OnlyFans account, brother, you paying to see a woman. Yes, you're a simp, brother. So think about how much money that these women is making off OnlyFans, brother. That's evidence of how many simps exist in this world, bro. Really.
Right. It's plenty of them. And some of them don't even consider themselves.
Let's say we take that bad baby, right? She made a bunch of money on OnlyFans for the first couple of months because she had a name, she was well known, and people wanted to see what she was doing. Other than that, most of the women on OnlyFans is broke. Bro, you guys can look up the shit. These women ain't getting money like that, bro.
But our
Like I said,
original,
I
but our
personally don't
original,
know,
our
but
original
if you
premise.
guys are seeing it in your life, then may the force be with you. I guess I just don't see it like some other people see.
We're not saying we're not saying it's right or wrong. We're not saying any of that. What we're saying is the chat said Nobody is marrying these kind of girls right here who's on the screen who is an OnlyFans girl. I said, yes, they are, and they gonna marry him and they gonna like it. And then they gonna notice she did OnlyFans too. Because there's plenty of men out here who doing the simping thing and not so simping thing and marrying these women. It just is what it is.
Now I will. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go. You go ahead, Pan. Go.
Now I will say a better argument that the brother Black America could make is
Mm-hmm.
the type of men, these particular simps that are willing to wife these promiscuous women. Traditionally, these promiscuous women are not attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a better argument that he could make. Even if these whores was to get wifed by a simp, they end up divorcing the simp and trying to get him for half of his money or more than half of his money. Yeah, I can see that argument. But to say that a whore can't get married, no, brother, that's erroneous. Really, a lot of these whores are getting married every day.
Right. A simp. If you put in that, if you put a descriptor on a simp, what would be considered a simp? Black America, what would be considered a simp? You look like you laying on the ground or something like that. I mean, what would be considered, or Pan? You name it. Put it in the context. A simp.
A simp is a man that engages in relationships with women that are not mutually beneficial.
Okay. So why is it that people say that men, husbands can be simps? Why do they say that?
Because you can have an ain't shit ass wife. You can have a wife that's cheating on you. You could, you can have a wife that tell your secrets to all her friends and gossip and laugh about you in a group chat. You can have a wife that's spending your money on other men.
Okay, so
that's what I've been saying the whole time.
Yeah,
that's all I've been saying is the whole time. I'm saying
you cutting out. We can't hear anything you say after you said I'm saying. I'm saying men can be men. Some men say husbands can be simps. That's great.
What would be considered a simp? Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. Okay.
Steve Harvey waited.
He said what? Oh, you went in and out. Steve Harvey is considered a simp. Russell Wilson is.
Want me or Pan?
No. Pan left the panel, so it was you. Pan left the panel. Yeah, you keep going in and out, but I'm saying no. That's not an argument. It is what it is. You're gonna find people who going to marry women who have a past. This is our argument. My argument was. You went away again.
Yeah.
You hear?
Yeah. Yes.
A lot of husbands are simps, according to Convergence. Key point: married men living in sexless marriages. Wow. Okay. But here's the thing: if Cassie's husband knew, and I believe that he did know. I believe Cassie's husband knew. He just didn't know the details of what was happening. He was in that jury. He was in that jury room. He was in there for every day of her testimony except day 2. Day 2 was her describing the grape that P. Diddy did to her. That was the only time he was not in the courtroom. So he had to have an idea of what she had done before the grape with Diddy. So he knew all of these things because my whole argument hinges on the fact that when you tell a man that I'm a sex worker, his mind race to the ends of the earth, imagining what I done sexually. So
hold on, HQ.
Yeah.
Hold on. Listen, like you can't listen to these men. You had a man up here who literally, Black American, up here literally said, me going to the strip club throwing money at women and not getting nothing in return, I'm not a simp. But a dude that take care of his wife like Russell Wilson, like what we was designed to, a woman coming under our covering that we provide for her, we protect for her, that's the simp.
So
You know
you're
what
a
really
man.
done happened?
You're a man. Why is it that I just can't get them to not call Russell Wilson a simp? Why is he considered a simp? I don't consider him a simp. Why?
I know, but
is that a problem?
that's the point that I'm telling you.
Right.
Russell Wilson is getting a return from his investment. You know, Sierra carried his child, had his child, been his wife, sleeping with him. This man is literally getting a return from his investment. And they gonna try to argue that just because they go to the strip club and they throw money and that woman, they get nothing from that woman. She's dancing for 20 men in that room. And you personally don't get nothing, you might get a lap dance. Half of them don't even get a lap dance. She be on this, and I'm literally seeing these dudes like the guy at the strip club is a definition of a simp, and then they gonna try to say, nah, the man who married the woman, who took covenant with this woman, who actually got her. Not only did he get her, he actually got her through God. He's the simp. I'm telling you, simps have tried to change the game, HQ. That's the point I'm telling you. Simps, they wanted to make it look like the behavior that they was doing is not simp. And the things that we was designed to do, like take care of woman, provide for woman as simp behavior. I'm telling you right now is that you can't listen to them, HQ.
What are you doing this time? He said he thought he was married. That's correct. Convergence. Cassie's husband. He knew. He just didn't want everybody on the planet to know. He knew, but they didn't. It was just when I know, it's okay. But when everybody know, my mama know, my daddy know, my neighbors know, the people I work with know, then it's embarrassing.
No, everybody knew. Listen. Everybody knew what she was doing. Listen, I believe I'm on record. If you go back and watch the tape, I think he put Cassie up to this. I think it's some pimping going on that y'all don't know about. I think Cassie was. I think Cassie was happy with all this stuff that was going on. She done lived her whole life with this information, and
Yeah,
then
but
soon as she get.
look at this, E, you got support. You know how you got support from me? Because Cassie and her husband was living at Cassie mama house. When before she got that money, she was living at her mama house or either his mama house. Why we got to live with you if we all got money like that?
Let me tell you what happened. I'm gonna put you up on game, HK.
Okay.
That husband looked at it. He said, "Man, I can't provide from you. You telling me you done did all this from Diddy? You can't call Diddy and get no money." And then, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Cassie called and said, "Diddy, I need you, man. I need you to write me a check." And Diddy said, "You ain't my problem no more. You that man problem." And then he said, "You know what? We should sue him. Everybody else suing him." And I really believe her husband put this battery in her back. Because if Cassidy wanted to go after this man for money, why she didn't do it for the last 20 years? Why is he the deciding factor? I think he put a battery and he said, you know what, we about to go get a payday. And he wanted to make sure that he was married to Cassidy. So if Cassidy decided she gonna leave him, he can get half of the money that he did. He's playing Pippin 101 ideology in the background. I'm telling you what's really going on.
So you don't think he loves her?
I think I can't measure if he love her or not. I think he gotta have some level of love. You know, you hear about all these men jerking all over. Like you got he gotta have some love, I guess, to still be there.
Right.
But I just think that they was in a bad situation. This sounds like a power move from a dude. Like every time I hear about these people suing people, it's usually the lawyer that's putting the battery in their back. It's usually a man. I know it sounds crazy. These women usually don't do stuff like this. I'm telling you, women don't do stuff like this. They get with another man, and then it's another man say, "I'm trying to get some of that man's wealth." And I'm willing to do whatever it is. I'm willing to be as grimy as I need to. And they put the back and a lot of these women, they're just the actress. They're just the front scene. They're not really what's really going on in the background.
She could have got money from him before. Why didn't she get money from him before? She could have did it before, right? She could have been done got money from Diddy, if that was the case. My whole point is you may have a point right there. Why we asking for it now? We didn't ask for it before.
And that's why he was a cheerleader. That's why everybody's like, why he everybody think he was there for support. He was going there, he was to make sure everything go right. Make sure she ain't messing nothing up. I bet he was at the crowd giving cues. That's why he couldn't be there on the second day because they said they don't want her giving no cues on what to say. If you because if you even listen to her story, like when Cassidy got to testify, because first I thought it was Cassidy. I
Mhm.
thought Cassidy had the problem. But when I started listening, she was like, yeah, I do these freak offs without Diddy. I said,
Mm,
who put this battery in your back then? Like, if you
mhm,
listen to the story, she
mhm,
had no problem with the freak offs. She
mhm.
had no problem with none of this stuff. Now, the domestic violence is a whole nother thing. I do think she strongly had a problem with him putting her hands on her, right? But the
Right.
actual freak offs, I think she had no problem with that. And that man, he got into his feelings and he said, we need some confrontation. Like, who really needs some comfort, some money? He needs some money for his trauma, for listening to those stories. That was the lawsuit was about, him to get his compensation for the. But I think that's what really happened. I think he put his wife up to, and she just tried to be a good wife, and she was listening to her husband. I know this ain't the popular take, HQ. I know people ain't
No,
gonna like this take.
I'm saying that I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that he don't have a part in it. What I am saying is they both came up with it together. They came up with it together. Yeah, I can get some money. This is how we gonna get up out of here. We gonna get what we need to get, and then we gonna set our family up and blase woo woo. Regardless of whether they stay together or not, they still came up with this money plot together to get this
I don't
20.
think so. I don't think Cassidy that smart. Diddy preyed on dumb women.
You didn't think she, oh, you didn't think she, well, I mean, I don't
No,
understand.
that I'm telling you, like most of the women Diddy preyed on was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It was like look at them making the band. Them boys in making the band was stupid. They didn't look like they was the brightest. Listen, them boys didn't look like they was the brightest group of bunch. They could sing, but they looked like they was easily manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they was smart.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's a fair
You still
point.
there?
Somebody, yeah, I'm here. You hear me? E? Oh, okay, you died. I mean, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. But the thing is, I believe he truly knew. So we're talking about this young lady right here on the stage. We're talking about her. She keep telling people that she meet, I want to, you want to date me, you like me. Maybe she's just confusing somebody who want to have sex with her and somebody who wants to date her. I don't understand it. I don't get what this young lady is doing. She let him know that she's a sex worker, and then you think there's going to be a relationship afterwards if you're involved with a sex worker? I don't think so. So why would you even try to get involved with anybody that you've had? But then again, she's not having sex with him. She's having sex on camera. She ain't having sex with these men. That's another level, right? Wait a minute. E, you here?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Here's my question. She's an OnlyFans chick. She ain't actually having sex with these men. She's doing this OnlyFans thing on OnlyFans, and I don't know what they do on OnlyFans, but I'm assuming there's some kind of sexual act on screen, right? So if it's some kind of sexual act on screen and she's doing it, but then she's trying to date the men that have seen her. Is there a difference between her doing the sex thing on screen or her doing it out in the street? Is there any difference? Does that make a difference to a man?
Yeah, I think that make a difference. The reason it make a difference for a man is the difference between somebody seeing you naked and somebody having a whole bunch of men. Like if you told me 10, both of them bad. Let me be clear, right? But if you told a man 10,000 people saw this woman naked versus this woman had sex with 10,000 men,
Mm-hmm.
I think it hits different. I think that men should mess with people with OnlyFans model, because it proves that they're willing to compromise their morals, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a moral thing, but
Right.
no, I definitely think it's a difference. It's almost like the prostitute versus the stripper. Like I don't know if you ever heard, like they used to say, I'm from Atlanta, right?
Oh,
Like
okay.
if you know
Okay.
about Atlanta,
I got you. I got you. I got you.
and me being from Atlanta, they
Right.
used to say that prostitution was 10 times worse than people actually stripping. Now, the stripper was doing prostitution too. Now, that's a whole nother conversation. But what
Right.
what I'm saying is what they was telling us is that it's okay if a whole bunch of women, because the reason I think that most men will actually accept people seeing their women because most men let their women walk outside with no clothes on.
So you think it's a difference between a stripper? So why do people have such a big deal or such a big argument about women that are strippers as opposed to a prostitute? Why wouldn't a stripper be better to marry than a prostitute?
No, because I'm comparing bad versus bad. Like
Okay.
if you compare the stripper
Right.
to the stay at home woman who's gonna be a good mom,
Mhm.
the stripper won't be the stripper's still outside, right? Neither
Right.
one of these you shouldn't marry none of these women. I'm
Right.
just saying from the ideology of why, because you know one thing I learned in being in Atlanta,
Mm.
most strippers got men.
I
Strippers
this
be
is what
having men.
this has been the whole argument. This has been the whole argument. I said strippers and 304, all of them, they can get a man, they can get married. Nobody said anything about divorce. Nobody said anything about that because regular, ordinary women leave men at a 70% rate. So leaving men ain't the problem. Getting a man and marrying a man, they can get men and they can marry men. So they have men.
Yeah, like this idea that strippers can't get now. I think HQ, you doing a little stretch when you said get married. I don't know. Married is next level,
Are
right? But
you
I do
kidding? Wait
think
a
they
minute,
can get a
hold on.
man.
Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? You think that you think women who have done strip work who have been 304, you think they can't get husbands?
I think they don't want husbands.
No. I'm saying, can they get husbands?
It's like so what we have is the argument of the tomato versus the tomato, right? Like if they're not getting married, now we arguing what's the cause. Is the cause is they can't get husbands or the
Mhm.
cause is that they don't? But typically, because you gotta understand it's hard for a stripper to go from a situations where she have 100 men supporting her lifestyle down to one man supporting her lifestyle. It's almost like can you imagine? It's almost like the same thing with women who have these trains ran on them. Then you start asking this man, can one man do what 5 men in a row could do? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it's just hard for them to kind of compartmentalize. Hey, I'm only gonna be able to live off one person income when she was living off 10 people income.
Yeah, but you talking about in the week. I'm talking about the whole premise of, can they get a husband?
Yeah, but the answer to your question, yes. Most
They,
of their most of their clients will marry. Them
yes.
dudes who sitting out, them dudes who sitting out there fantasizing, she whispering in their ear.
Mhm.
If she was to move into him and require a ring, she would get married. Most women can get married. This idea that women can't get married, I
Mhm.
think is BS.
Well,
Most women can get married. I
mhm.
just don't think that the person that's willing to marry them is the people they want to marry.
Okay. Okay. So you say women can get married. It's just the person that is willing to marry him is the one that the woman don't want.
Yeah, so like
Okay.
my whole stance on this, what I'm telling you, HQ, is most women
Hmm.
got some dude that's willing to marry them, sweep them off the feet, but usually
Hmm.
the women think that those men are beneath them.
Right. Right. I will concede to that. I will concede to that. There's plenty of orbiters rolling around. There's plenty of those. A woman always has plenty of those, regardless of what she may look like. There's going to be somebody that will come around and do X, Y, and Z. That's why I said, even these prostitutes, even these 304s, even the whore, they call them the whore, as you say, they can get husbands too. It's just a matter of whether they want to marry him or they don't want to marry him, but they can. Most women can get married. The whole point is, it may not be the man that you want. Is that the same, or is it true for men? E? Oh, you did in the water. No, that
I
was.
said, but it is vice versa too. Most men can get married too.
Mm-hmm,
Like
mm-hmm,
like I know I was talking to this guy, had this conversation with this guy and this woman. It's like it's Steve Urkel effect. You watch Steve Urkel Family Matters growing up, right?
no, not really.
Did
I
you
knew
see
who
it?
he was. I never watched it though.
So on Family Matters, see the thing is,
I
people
was a book.
focus. I'm gonna just give you a quick 10 seconds on or 20 seconds of what happened. Everybody
Right.
focused on the woman Steve Urkel could not get. But
Mhm.
in the show, he had a woman that was obsessed with him, that was in love with him, and he
Mhm.
literally couldn't see her no more than just a friend. And
Mm.
I think a lot of people have this, like they got people in their life that would be happy married to them, and
Mhm.
I'll talk about that. But and sometimes in people's mind, they don't, when they look in the mirror, they don't see the true level that they're really on.
Right. Right.
So that's why,
Right.
like, I remember I was having this conversation with this dude, and this dude was making like $20,000, right? He made about 20. I didn't even know you can make 25,000 a year. He made about 25,000 a year, right? And
What?
he, I didn't even know that was possible, but he do. He was making
Right.
like 25,000 a year,
Okay.
and he was talking about this girl that was a baby mama, and I was
Mm.
at, and he was I, me and he was having this conversation, and I was like, hey, bro, you know, y'all kind of on the same level. But he thought he's supposed to got a childless woman that was a 6'7", and he
Mhm.
wasn't really producing that type of income.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. That's true. I think that may be one of the cruxes of the matter when it comes to people and getting into relationships and getting married. People think they deserve more than what they deserve the level more than what they are. And most people, there is no level. You got to look around at the people that you associate with or you're with, and then that will be your level. Don't try to go above your level. Don't try to swim in deeper waters. Don't do none of that. And a lot of people think but then a really bad problem is because people think they make a lot of money, that money is going to make up for the personality and all of that.
No,
And
no, but
you
it
know,
gives you more options.
yeah.
So say for example, it was this chick, it was this guy I know, he's made good, he's a good guy. It's just he don't make baddie money. He can't support a bad chick. I'm just telling you, he can't. And me was having this conversation. Is this chick? She was really into him. She had a child. She was making close to like 65,000 a year, so she making a lot of money. But she liked him. When I say HQ, I don't know why, but she liked him,
Mm-hmm.
and he was saying like, "Oh, she got bad baggage,
Right.
because she got a baby." But I'm like, bro, she making like 3 times as much income as you. You take your 60, her 25. She don't care. Like she wasn't tripping. Like she was the type of chick that was like, "Hey, check this out. Um, I take you at 25, and I'd rather have 80." Like she was a humble chick. Like she said, "I'd rather us have 80 together than me
Mm-hmm.
to have 60." But
Right.
he couldn't move past, oh, she had a child. He was like, man, she got a child. I believe I deserve a woman without a childless woman. And like I said, she was an average looking woman. She wasn't ugly, HQ.
So what do you say? So what do you say to that? What? Okay. So let me get understanding. You said there was a single man who didn't have kids, and he made 25K.
Hmm.
He met a woman who made 65K, and she had one kid, and then he didn't want to deal with her because she had that one kid,
Yeah,
right?
that's stupid. That's crazy. Like to me, I'm like, bro, check this out. Y'all get together. You gonna live a better lifestyle because she's bringing more money, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
so like this is what I tell people. Put it on paper. I'm like, bro, if you put it on paper, she bring more to the table. Like you know how people say baggage.
Right.
Sometimes, like in business, we got something called assets and liabilities, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some people have liability. If you look at Apple right now, they might got $60 million in debt. They got baggage, but they
Mm-hmm.
make $150 million a year, whatever it is. So they assets actually outweighs their liabilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I was trying to explain this to him, but and then he ended up getting the woman he want, but he got this
Yeah, but
chick.
that goes against the grain of the narrative that these men around here have. I'm single and I ain't got no kids, so I deserve something more than the chick who has one baby and makes 65.
But
That goes against the narrative.
let me tell you why it played out bad for him. Because he ended up getting the chick. Chick ain't got no kids.
Mm-hmm.
Chick working at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Ghetto chick, right? So he got one without kids. But in my opinion, I believe he gave up so much more. Now he's struggling paycheck to paycheck. She don't want to really work. He
Mhm.
working. So it's like this idea that since he didn't assess the whole situation, he just took one thing from the situation to make a decision.
Mhm.
And the girl who making 25,000, she do look a little bit better. So
Mhm.
she look a little bit better. She ain't got no child, but she really had nothing else to offer. This
Right.
girl had a career. She had a child, and it's like, but he would have lived a better lifestyle. So
Mhm.
I just think that men got to make better decisions. Cause now he called me complaining, and I'm like, man, you crazy. You should. Um.
Right. I mean, that's my summation of it. I would did a calculation on the kid, the money, the lifestyle, what kind of education this girl who make less than me has compared to what I could have if I got with this particular person. We could negotiate some things. I would have thought that way. I mean, that would have been my thought. But men on here say they don't want to marry a woman who has kids if they're single. It is what it is.
Well, but that's cool. And then you know how some people like I'm looking at the chat. They like if she got a kid, they really didn't make 80K. All right. They still
Oh.
make more than the 20,000 that he like. Even if we say that the kid was, even if we say the kid cost 20,000 a year, and I got kids, I don't know why we got this narrative that kids cost so much money.
Mhm.
I don't know what y'all spending a whole bunch of money on these kids for, cause like me and my wife, we had a budget, and then when we had our baby, it's not like we had to go buy a whole bunch of more eggs. We just added an egg to the breakfast. This is not like we had like this idea. Like when we made pancakes, we put a 10 cent more of batter. Like it's not like we went to go and paid this 15, 20,000 a year that people talk about. But that's neither here nor there. But it's cool if people look at it like he win, but from a older man, like well I'm not older, but from a mature man point of view, I believe
Mhm.
he lost choosing the
Mhm.
cute girl who ain't got nothing. Like, cause it's a difference between seeing like in 15 years what him and the other woman could have built together versus him having a woman as dumb as a box of rocks, but she just cute.
Right. Those are the things that you got to. Those are the things that you got to look at and say, take into account. I'd rather have a person that has a kid, has a head on straight. I know we're gonna build together, we're gonna grow together, we're gonna have better life together. And she got one kid, as opposed to the goofy over here who barely made it out of high school, who just doing X, Y, and Z, who want to be on some other ish. She might be fine as hell, and she ain't got no kid, but I can't deal with that peace. She ain't gonna bring me peace. See,
Mhm.
there's all kinds of factors that people got to take into account. I get it. I'm not recommending anybody who to a single person get with a person who got a kid. I'm not recommending that. I'm not saying X. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying if you got 10 things that you want out of a person, out of a companion, out of a mate that you looking for, and that person has 8, regardless of whether they have a kid or not, you need to seriously consider that relationship because they have all of the qualities or most of the qualities that you want. I'm just pro relationship, regardless of what kids you have or you don't.
See, no,
Okay.
but HQ, see,
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm saying. A man got women orbiting. Most men have women orbiting, right? And I'm saying choose the best of the orbits, right?
Orbiter.
He
Choose
had
the orbiters. Okay.
Yeah, it's like so he had 2 women orbiting. He had the one with one kid
Mm-hmm.
who I believe that I think if he would have got with the 60,000, they would have been going on trips. They would have
Mm-hmm.
been in DR. Like they had enough money that they could live a better lifestyle,
Right.
even with the kid,
Right.
versus the one who they can't live a better lifestyle. And I'm not saying that they can't get better jobs, the one without kids, right? I,
Right.
I just know the situation, and I think men and women, because women have this too, they have people orbiting them. They got
Mm-hmm.
people who like them. It's people in their circle that wants to be with them.
Right.
What you need to do is first of all be aware of who's orbiting you, put them all on a piece of paper, and find out what's the best deal.
Now okay. See, now that right there, I can get behind that. You look around you and see what options you have that are around you, and then put the best option on the table. Okay, okay, I got you. Okay, I understand that. That makes sense. That make way more sense as opposed to what they are doing, as opposed to what they're doing. Is reaching for the stars. Women reaching for the stars, reaching for this X, Y, and Z, reaching for this guy to make 100K, and you ain't never dated 100K, and ain't no 100K looking you in no eyeball.
Yeah,
So
it's
what?
not even in your orbit. That's the point. Like when I hear, like I literally hear men and women because it's not a gender thing, but I literally hear men and women. I be listening to them talk, and
Right.
they describe a man or they describe a woman, and I ask the simple question: how many people have you dated or been in a serious relationship that's like that? And they say none. And
Mm-hmm.
none of those men that you want are in your orbit. So you
Right.
shouldn't even talk about those men. That sounds crazy to me.
Right. Right. And then that's the thing with the women and with the men. So I can only support you when you tell me about the people that's around you. When you tell me about the people that's around you, then I'll believe your options, and then you pick from those options that are around you, that hang around you. Don't give me I want a 6', 6'3", 200,000 K, blah blah blah. Don't tell me all that because I don't believe you, and you never dated them before, and you dated 3 of them, but none of them been successful. None of them turned into a long lasting relationship. That means you can't sustain a relationship with a person like that. So
And, and, the, and the same thing, and I go for the men. You can't tell me you've been a homemonger for the last 10 years of your life. You sleeping with everything, and now you supposed to get the virgin. Like, yeah, I won't be a virgin. Like, if you listen to what you said, every woman who get into a 10-inch radius of you have sex with, and
right,
now all of a sudden you done turned 50, and now you want somebody who got less than 2 bodies.
right.
You kind of get what I'm saying. Those women don't even orbit you, like, cause you draw hoes cause you a hoe.
Right, right. So it's like we both. It's a little delusion on both sides. It's a little delusion on both sides, and I say that to a lot of. It's delusional on both sides. You got female delusion, but it's really a lot on the female side. But it's also men out there that have that delusion as well. So you got to think about who do you see every day. I've said this before. Who do you walk down the street and see every day? Who do you go to the grocery store and see every day? Who do you work with every day? There's women that you work with. There's all types of women that you work with. If you're in a regular, everyday, productive job and a profession, pick somebody there. Pick somebody that's on the same level with you, that has an idea of how you perform, has an idea of how you perform work duties, has an idea of what you will and won't do when you show up for work. Are you going
But
to show up every day? Blah blah
But
blah.
this is what happened in real life outside the internet. I
Mm,
remember growing up when I was in high school, the PE teacher was dating the biology teacher.
right.
That's who it was. The principal was married to another principal, right?
Mhm,
I
mhm.
remember when I used to work for this first aid company. We used to put first aids in all the warehouse. Guess what? I seen people in the break room kissing and hugging each other. Like people at the warehouse talk to people at the warehouse.
Right,
People have always dated into their peers.
right.
It's just lately people say since I have access to the internet, you hear
Yes.
men say, "Oh, now that I got access to the internet, I ain't got to date the women around me. I'm gonna
Ex-
go to Timbuktu and get me
Yeah.
a woman that don't even speak my language. I'm gonna go over there and get a
Or
woman that don't have my culture."
or she gonna marry you and she gonna turn around and then have your kids or have a baby by you or get the passport, get over here, and then she gonna leave the minute her green card come or whatever. Some of these people just be I don't get it. And there's nothing wrong with the people and I get it. If you live in the ghetto, you don't want to marry the same ghetto female, but you don't want to do that. But you
But you
work
should though. That's the point that I'm making. If
with
you live in the ghetto, you in the ghetto. That means that you need like that's the problem, HQ. He live in the ghetto. He think he's supposed to get a woman in the suburbs. Nigga,
mm,
you in the ghetto too.
right, right.
And like so that's the point that I'm trying to help people understand. Like I was talking to this guy, he said, every woman I run into is a hoe. And you know what I told him? You a hoe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen. If everything that you keep running into, like people don't understand, when women are a reflection of the men in their circle.
Okay.
Like if you got a whole bunch, I'm telling you, HQ, if you got a whole bunch of men with morals and values, guess what you see around them? A whole bunch of women with
More
morals and values.
values.
If
Right.
you see it's a reason. If you see a whole bunch of pimps, you know what you see? A whole bunch of hoes. Listen. It's like I'm telling people, like people don't understand how people really draw. So when I hear men, I be online, I would just be listening to dudes. He say, everywhere I look, I see hoes. Well, I'm sorry, brother.
Mm,
You a hoe. If you don't see nothing but hoes, you a hoe.
you a hoe. I know that's right. Let me finish this lady out because she's
It
the last,
sounds
she the first one I got in the last.
This man is saying he loves you and want to marry you. Where's the money at? You love me so much. Where's the money? Where's the ring, babe?
Are you familiar with this lady, E?
You know I mean.
I've never seen her before. I don't know.
She's a dating coach. You ever heard of Shira 7?
Yeah, I heard of her.
She's a low key Shira 7, just not as obvious.
Look up look up the diamond district in Asia. Get it paid for.
Mhm.
Where's the bills paid for? Since you love me. How are you making my life easier? No, absolutely not. No.
Consider all those things. And yes, I was like, let me just hop on here and ask you for your own opinion as well, because I've been following you and I really admire you and how you teach like young ladies or even grown women, how they should take care of themselves. With that, for the whole physical thing, I really admire you. And I've been looking, I'm like, I need to do some of that, the things that she does. So
Lexi, I'm worried. I can't even talk about anything else. I'm worried about you, my love. I'm really worried. I'm being very serious right now. Do not meet that man. You don't know that.
She's trying to meet a man offline that saw her as a sex worker. She's an OnlyFans woman, and so this man was following her as a fan, and now she's determined that she gonna meet him offline. And Ashley's trying to tell her, don't do that because you don't know what you gonna meet when you meet him.
That man is. Do not meet that man. And you don't know who he's showing up with or who he knows in that country. Do not meet that man.
okay.
See, but listen, I see.
Wow.
Sometimes when we see stuff like this, she's like, "That's good advice."
Right.
Right? I think that's good advice. She shouldn't just be mean at some random dude. Cool. But why is she not giving her the good advice? Get off of OnlyFans.
Because that's not what Ashley do. Ashley say, your life is your life and you do your thing.
Exactly. But that's the point. If her life is her life, she should meet up with the man.
Yeah, but she sometimes gives this kind of advice. She normally just gives the advice of change your hair, lose some weight, get your skin, all of that stuff. Sometimes they come on here and then they ask for advice about, okay, should I meet this guy? Should I meet that guy? And she gives them the advice. But it's always tailored towards, are you getting anything out of that man? Is he paying your bills? Is he paying for the flight? Is he doing all of this? It's always a gold digging aspect to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just think that I just think in her life she feel like men come and go, so she believed that she should get as much out of them as possible, right?
Right.
The reason that women like her sucks, right? Is because those things women should. I wouldn't tell my daughters to get with a bum, a dude that don't have nothing to offer, right?
Right.
But I would tell my daughters, hey, check this out. And you need to make sure that you value him as a person. And if you value him as a person, this person that you can spend the rest of your life with need to bring something to the table. But it seems like we forget that valuing as a person and we just skip bring something to the table, which makes it what would normally be good advice, bad advice.
So you're saying, what I would say was character matters. Get a person that has character, who has empathy, who has goals in their life, who wants to do something beyond their money.
But that's what I'm saying. When you say character matters, HQ, money matters too.
True.
So,
Character doesn't matter, but character doesn't matter more than money. Doesn't matter more than character.
See, but that's what I'm saying. It's almost like I ask you.
You just died out. I'm saying You just died out. I'm saying money doesn't matter as much as character. Because I could be a shitty human being and have all the money in the world and treat you like shit. You know those people that you go to the store, go to the restaurant with, and they act a fool at the way, and they act a fool at the restaurant because they got money. Oh, well, you better get it the way I want it, and blah 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 blah, and just that's character.
I know, but HQ, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
So let me ask you, what is more important, your heart or your brain?
In relation to what? What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, period. If I said you had to have your heart or I said you had to have your brain, which one would you say is more important?
I would love to have my brain because I can make my heart work if I had a brain.
No, but the point is, both of these things are equally important.
No, money is not as equally important as character. That's
yes,
not.
it is. In a I'm talking about from a marriage point of view. Yes, both of them. Listen, I don't care if he got the best character. Listen, I hear this conversation all the time, HQ. If he has the best character and y'all stand underneath a bridge, his character does not matter as much as you think it does. Both of them are equally important.
I'm not saying that they're not important. I'm saying character is more important than money.
It's not the point that I'm helping you understand is people say, which one do you rather have, a gun or a bullet? I need both of them to like one is not more important than the other. For us to function as a whole family, I have to have both. So we gotta stop having this conversation about is my heart more important than my brain? Because if I don't have either, I die. If you don't got money, you die. If you don't got character, it's bad. So we need to say, instead of we saying choose one or the other from importance, we should say a man should have both of these things for you to move forward in a relationship. Do you kind of understand what I'm saying?
But listen to this. And just just listen to this. Money opens a lot of doors, right? Right? Money opens a lot of doors. Character is what decides whether those doors are going to stay open. So to me, character matters more.
Okay, but you did it again.
What?
HQ, you're trying to say, hey, check this out. I can do one without the other. I'm telling you.
No, I'm not saying you can. I'm not saying that you can. I'm saying character determines how you're perceived on this planet. If I got listen to what's the narrative that's going on in the news media. I don't have respect for our president. I have no respect for him whatsoever. He got a lot of money, but I don't have respect for him. Wouldn't be nothing I could do in order to deal with him. A lot of people don't have no money. Barack Obama, in terms of that or whoever, don't have a lot of money, but I respect them decently and would walk over coals in order to support them or protect them. That's the difference between somebody having money and no respect. You can have all the money in the world, but character is more important.
I think all politicians are bad, right? So, but I get what you're trying to say. Okay, I get what you. I get the sentiment of what you're trying to say, right?
Money is very important. I would not go over and talk to Nug, and Nug ain't got no money. Of course, I'm over here talking to you because you got money. I ain't going over there to talk to the bum, and the one who got money is in the room. I'm going to talk to the man that got money.
I know, but that's what I'm telling you is for men, HQ, for men, I'm not telling my child, if I have a daughter, she need to do one or the other. I'm telling her, find someone
so
that's
how
balanced.
would you navigate that? What would you say to your child?
Perfect. I'm saying it's two things that a man need to have to sustain a family. He needs to have character and money. He can't have one or the other. If he just got money and not character, leave him alone. If he just got character and no money, leave him alone. Like I'm telling him, like, hey, you need something balanced. Like we need to tell them like it's like a cake, right? And people say, what's more important than the cake? Is it the flour or the sugar? It's not a cake if you don't have flour, and it's not a cake if you don't have sugar.
Mhm.
That's the point that, like, if you understand the sentiment that I'm trying to explain, is that the sentiment is, baby, you should get a complete man. You don't have to settle for one or the other.
Absolutely. That would be the sentiment. But that would be the way we want to go. But a lot of men, you don't have that money. A lot of men don't have that. They may have character, but they don't have money. And then sometimes people have the money, but then they like Diddy. Diddy had all the money in the world, and he's a degenerate. The problem is, where can you find a person that has both of those traits?
Yeah,
Both of those things.
because listen, I'm just telling you what I know. Say if Diddy had $0 and he had all the character, no woman would have told that another woman to get with that man with character.
Mm,
It doesn't happen like that. I get it sounds good
mhm.
because you know one thing I learned. I don't know if you know what I do, HQ. I deal with the homeless a lot,
Yeah,
right?
you said it on a couple of
Yeah,
times.
I deal with the homeless. It's a lot of homeless dudes with character.
Mhm.
It's a lot of homeless dudes with morals and values. It doesn't mean nothing if they don't have money.
Mm,
Because
mm,
if that's the case, women should go down to their local shelter,
mhm,
find a man with the best character,
mhm.
and get him. You got to have both. It's like it's a recipe,
I
and
see. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yes.
so I don't try to compare two things that I need to
Mhm.
make a cake. I need both of these things to make a cake. If I don't have both of these things, it's a no deal.
So
And
how do you present that? Because men be like, "Oh, he poor. You just want him for his money." No,
no, well, she should want you for your money. Listen,
she would want you.
only broke dudes got a problem with this. Listen, I never had a listen. If a woman came to me and said, "Hey, she want me for my money in blase blase blase," I'm not saying that. Like she got to be into you too. Like
Right.
she got like I said, I'm not saying that. But if she want a man with money, in
Mhm,
a man with character, in a man that's a good father, in a man that's this, that, and the third,
mhm.
that's not a problem.
Okay.
Like what we try to do is we try to put very humans are very complex creatures, and we try to like
So
make them
why is there
single.
shame? Why do people try to make women shame when they say, so why can't I ask for a man that makes what I make or more? Why can't I ask for that and have him be a decent human being and
Well,
have him be blah blah blah?
I think that is for the majority of people. A woman who's making 60,000 can get a woman who's making 60,000 can get a man that's making 60,000. I think the problem is when you get to the rareness. So say for example, if you got somebody like making $2.5 million and say she want a man that's making two, you gotta understand that you're so rare at who you are, is
Mhm,
that you have to be able to, since you're an anomaly, you can't follow the rules, right? But
mhm,
if I found a woman that was in IT, she make 100,000, she can get with a guy that's making IT money. If I
mhm,
seen a doctor get with a doctor, I would have a lawyer get with a lawyer,
mhm,
or somebody like a beautician get with a barber. I
mhm,
think those rules are for normal people. But
mhm.
once you get past that normal income, it's just a limit. When you talk about I make $5 million, I want a man that's making $5 million. Now you got to start changing your parameters because it's such a small group of men.
So why should I feel bad when I'm a person that when I'm a regular ordinary secretary and I make 40, 50K, just for example, I make 40, 50K and I say, hey, I want a man who makes just as much as I do or more, maybe 75K. That
I
shouldn't be a problem.
I think that's most relationships.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
I think I think most relationships is if a woman's making, and this is excluding stay at home moms, obviously,
Mhm.
right? But
Right.
like say like when you meet, like when I met my wife, our income wasn't that far apart.
Mhm.
Like she was in the medical field, I was in sales. Like I did make more money than her, but
Mhm.
we was still in the same class.
Okay.
Like it wasn't like I was in a higher class and she was in the middle class. We both would have been in the middle class at different tiers. Like that's what I'm saying is it's okay for a woman to make 60 and get with a man that's making 80. That's like realistic, because when you break $20,000 down over 12 months, you looking at after taxes and all that, you talking maybe $1,000, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying is I think those two people do and there's some women, they just fortunate. You know, you see the secretary end up marrying the owners just because she just happened to be in his field and he dating in his orbit. You know, she was orbiting him the right way. But I think it's not wrong. I think it's not wrong with a woman making 80,000 get with a man that's making 60,000.
Mhm.
I think that truthfully and honestly, they're still in the same orbit.
Right.
Where the problem come in is when it's a huge difference. When you
Right.
got a woman making 250,000, she get with a man that's making 60,000.
Right.
I think that changed the dynamic of the relationships.
So, which is when if I ask for a date or I go on a date or I'm looking at a website to date, I normally say he's got to make what I make or more. That's it. It's just I don't want to have a quibble about that. Most women want you to make the same amount or more.
Yeah, no, I think it's nothing wrong with that. So when women say, "Hey, I'm looking for a man that makes this, that, and third," that's no problem. Just like a man saying, "You got to look a certain way or better."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's your personal standard as a woman,
Right.
and the man is sharing his personal standard as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether you get it or not is your responsibility. So the one thing, since I'm in sales, the one thing it is they say you make this amount of money if you sell this. It's my responsibility to go out there and make the sale. It's your responsibility to go out and find the man or the woman to be able to court to marriage.
Okay. Hey Zeus.
How we doing? I apologize. My phone overheated. It wasn't that I was upset with you.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't think so.
Because I love you. I love you.
Well, thank you. What do you contribute to this conversation? We got into this money conversation. We got into the X, Y, and Z. So what do you want to say?
Well, let me just backtrack a little bit and say good afternoon to the chat. Love and support as always.
Yes.
I think one of the points you were taking on, but then I think we also tailspun into levels.
Mm-hmm.
Can this woman get married? Can any whore get married? Can any handicapped person? Yes, that woman can.
You're right.
Women are bred to get married. Men are not bred to get married. Men are bred to have companionship. So when you have go ahead.
So hold on. I just want to make sure I hear you. You think men are not designed to get married?
Is that what you heard me say?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's why I asked the question.
Men are looking for companionship. They're not looking for love. Women are
definitely looking for love. I want to be loved. You don't want to be loved?
Respect is the in
No. I get the talking points.
Okay.
I would like
you
to
can't
be
get the
loved.
talking points if you were interrupting.
Mm.
No, I asked a question and I thought you gave me the right to ask it. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You finish. I asked the question, did you want to be loved? Because I want to be loved.
Okay.
I don't want to be just treated like a wallet.
At any point did I say men don't want to be loved?
Well, you said marriage and then you went to love. That's what I was trying to understand. I was just trying to be clear.
You were
with what
busy
you're saying.
interrupting and not listening.
No, I was just trying to ask for clarity. I apologize. If you don't want interruption, I'll let you go for as long as you want. I thought it was a conversation. I apologize, bro.
Go ahead, Zeus.
My point is, a woman's foundation is she is looking for love. That doesn't mean there aren't more ingredients to the cake. That's not what I'm saying. Men's main focus is companionship. I'm not saying they're not looking for love. I'm saying to everything there's levels. A man will stay because of duty and companionship. A woman will leave because she's looking for love. That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that one of those things are, I'm saying those are the foundations, love and companionship. So a lot of times men get lost, not understanding what they're looking for. Women get lost looking for something they will never find. So your question earlier, before we added all these layers, was, can someone get married? And the answer is yes. And then the other answer is men will always pay. If it's successful, they're going to pay. It doesn't matter if they pay with their time or with finances, they're going to pay. In the end, it's always going to be their fault, etc. So with that said, I'm in.
Aaron.
Yes.
Hello, Aaron. Hello.
How you doing?
We're good.
Okay. You
Aaron
sure
had
you're
a
all
problem
right?
with what I was saying in the chat. I'm sorry, I thought I was muted. Go ahead, bro.
You all right, HQ? You sound
No, I was eating my weekly piece of chocolate.
Oh, let me not intrude.
I was
Enjoy, please.
savoring my chocolate.
Yeah, no, please go ahead.
What
let me try to buy you some time so you can go ahead and savor that. Yeah. So Eda Man, hey, what's going on, Zeus? Chat, greetings to everyone. Hope all is well.
How you doing, brother?
I think I'm doing well, thanks for asking. I think maybe you might be stuck in something that a lot of people do, most people do, and that's getting wrapped up in absolutes. And I think Zeus's point has landed on me, and I would agree. But he also was put in a position where he had to clarify that he was not speaking in absolutes or considering absolutes. So when people say two things can be true at the same time, that doesn't mean we don't grade them or put them on a scale, right? Things happen in gradient increments. So to say the heart and the brain are equally as important, I mean, they're both detrimental to life, but the brain is the one that controls the heart. The heart simply feeds the brain. You can have a heart transplant, but you can't have a brain transplant. But it's true to say without both, you'll perish. So I say that to say in relationship to this argument that money is equal to character. No, it is character that begets money, right? Without character, your money is useless whether you have it or not. Character will lead you to money. And to say there's a bunch of homeless people that are loaded with character, well, that's a limited statement or a limited assessment. Do they have the character necessary to be married? The answer would be no. They have character to be good people, decent people, sure. But they don't have enough character to be money because they don't have the character to go out and make the sacrifices necessary to acquire the resources that are necessary to support a marriage. But if you have character, I mean, if you have money and you're devoid of character, your money's useless. And I think HQ did a great job at outlining an example of that in Diddy, allegedly. Right. So if I were to tell my daughter how to order the criteria in which she uses to choose a man, I would say you need to have character above money, even though both are necessary in a relationship or in a marriage. You should absolutely order them where one comes before the other because one will beget the other.
So I got it. So I want to ask you guys some questions now. I want to make sure I got y'all full thought out. So Aaron, do you believe that why do you think men get married? Because I think most men get married because they are in love. That's the reason, because most men don't get, like, according to what Zeus is saying, most men don't get nothing out of marriage. So if they're not in love, it doesn't really even make sense for them to marry the woman.
I don't interpret what he's saying as that.
I know, but I'm asking, do you believe that men get married truly for love? Or you think that that's a bad statement?
No, I don't think men get married for love at all.
Why do you think men get married?
Legacy. A part of legacy is the companionship of the person that you've built your legacy with. But legacy includes things. Go ahead.
And do you believe women get married for legacy or no?
No.
Why do you think women get married?
Love. And so just like companionship is a staple component of legacy, security is a staple component of love. In fact, I think they serve the same purpose in each relative category. Security does for love what companionship does for legacy. It supports it.
So, what I'm trying to understand, do you believe that companionship and love are synonyms or no?
No. Companionship and love, no. They serve the same purpose in their respective categories, but no. So to that end, I can see a similarity. I can see how you would misinterpret it that way. But
what I'm saying is, because what I learned when I'm talking about men, I change to word that has the same meaning, versus like if I was to describe this thing that we're talking about, we would call it as love if I was talking about women. But if I the same thing, if I gendered towards a man, we would just change the name to companionship. In reality, it is still love. So I'm trying to figure out outside of gender, what is the difference between companionship and love?
So companionship has a lot to do with proximity. Love has a lot to do with emotion. You can love someone from afar, but you cannot provide them with companionship.
Well, that doesn't make sense when we talk about marriage, because the marriage is not from afar. We're not talking about a woman loving you from afar. We actually talking about proximity. So her love to her husband have to be proximity.
You were in the military, so you know that not to be true.
No. We're talking about starting a marriage, right? When I describe love for a woman, it's about proximity to her husband. When I say love from a man, it's about proximity for that man. So what I'm saying is, I get that you're saying that we can define love as this thing, but we're talking about the same thing because you're both going to be in proximity of your spouse, which make love and companionship in this conversation more similar than different.
So you just you impose something on the conversation that I'm not agreeing with. You just said love to a woman is ABC, and then love to a man is ABC. So right there, you are applying love to both. The initial question was, is love the same as companionship? So when you look at love to a woman and compare it to companionship to a man, once you drag love over to the man's side of the equation, then by virtue of that, you've answered the question for me. That's a different circumstance.
No. I get what you're saying, and I'm not arguing with what you're saying. What I'm saying is, do you believe love in a marriage? When you talk about love in a marriage, do you believe that it have something to do with proximity
On which side?
for the
In
women?
relationship to women or men?
For women.
Um, it is fortified by proximity, but it's not necessary for its existence. But yeah, it's
So
fortified by
so
it, sure.
so so you believe women are looking for love not in proximity, or they still would be looking for love if they was not in proximity of that man?
See here, so that is a question of absolutes, right? Where you're saying,
No, I'm not talking absolutes. I want you to think that I'm saying in every situation, because that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying when I hear you define companionship and I hear women define love, they're using the exact same definition. It's just two different words because of genders.
that's because they serve the same purpose in the individual respective categories, but they're not the same. So it's like saying an automobile puts power to the ground, it's torque to the ground by virtue of traction, the tires up in the ground. An airplane provides thrust, right? It takes its power and produces thrust. It pushes against the environment to push the plane forward. The same result is they both progress, across a distance, but their applications are very much different.
Okay, so the
Right.
difference between companionship, because your difference was proximity. That was the definition you used.
For,
So I'm
for,
saying
for companionship to be effective, proximity is a must.
for love to be effective, proximity is a must in a
No,
marriage.
that's not what I'm saying. Proximity
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that women don't want love if they're not in proximity of that man, especially in a marriage.
so let's define love then. Would you agree that the security is a primary component to a woman feeling loved? She has to feel safe. She can't feel loved if she don't feel safe.
Right.
So what you're saying is that
No, I'm
security.
asking you, do you agree?
Do I believe that security? Yes. The answer to your question, yes. I want to ask you a question before I say my point. Yes.
Okay, good. So, with that being the case, which are you willing to sacrifice in order to maintain a woman's love? security or proximity?
Which one am I willing to sacrifice? I
Mm.
think neither, because either one of those, you don't feel love anymore.
Okay, so if you took away security or made security an intermittent component in her life, do you think she would feel loved? Or
No,
if the cost of that were the companionship to be a constant, or if companionship were intermittent but security and safety were a constant, which one do you think a woman would feel more loved in?
neither. That's what I'm saying. So I think if a
No,
woman,
more
hold on,
love.
hold on, but let me answer the question. The way, so what I'm saying is, if you're not around, she's not going to feel love, and if you don't make her feel secure, she's not going to feel love. So
That's
this idea that I can remove one and she still feel love, I think is a bad argument,
no,
Aaron. If
no.
that
Let me
makes
correct
sense.
you. You mischaracterized what I. That's why I said intermittent. I'm not saying remove it entirely. I'm saying have it so that it's intermittent. It is not a constant. It
Okay.
happens. So, for example, a man is an offshore oil engineer. So he's gone. He's home for 2 weeks and he's gone for 2. Right. That is an intermittent level of companionship. Sometimes he's there. His proximity is in and out.
Mhm.
Right.
She's secure. When he's home, he does things to ensure that she's safe while he's gone. The finances are immaculately maintained. She doesn't have to work at all, right? He's earning $250 a year. Would you
And
rather that, or
what I'm
would you
saying?
rather have him home all the time, but every other month there's a red stripe on the mail, or there's bright colors on your door and in your mailbox?
Yeah.
Would you?
So
And that's intermittent. Would you rather have that or the other?
I get the point that you're making, but I'm saying in both situations, she don't feel love. When she's sitting at home by herself for 2 weeks, she feel like she's not loved. That's the point that I'm making is because how you explaining it, just because she got the bills paid, just because the she feels secure. When he's off for 2 weeks at that oil field, she have loneliness. She feel like she's not loved. So that's the point that I'm making. Is just because she have security doesn't mean that she feel love if she don't have quote unquote companionship that you're talking about.
Well, I feel like you understand now what I'm saying. So, and now, I mean, I always understood what you were saying. I
Mhm.
just thought that you weren't understanding what I'm saying, but now I get that you do.
Yeah,
HQ, which now, as the resident woman on the panel,
Right.
what do you think?
I
And
would
I'm not
prefer
saying
him.
one.
I would prefer him being gone every 2 weeks, and then everything is secure while he's gone.
There you go.
That would be my preference.
so you would feel more loved in that situation.
Yeah, because of my love language. My love language is acts of service.
But I think you like him going for 2 weeks because you like doing your own thing sometimes.
Yes,
Basically,
yes,
see,
because
yeah,
I'm a
so like, but
solitary. Because I'm a solitary person.
yeah,
I
see, but
spend time by
so
myself.
that's
Yeah,
why I think the question is jaded to you because you okay with being by yourself, and
I'm
so
absolutely okay with that. You could be gone for a month or two. I
yeah,
mean, as
yeah.
long
So,
as
but
you
I,
come back and you're right. We
yeah,
good.
I'm just saying and Aaron know what I'm talking about. Growing up or being in the military community,
Mhm.
just because the bills are paid and you taking care of this thing, when dudes get deployed, these women are they are lonely, they're depressed. I mean, they go through some things of feeling like they're not loved because his presence is not there.
Yeah.
So
So do you think that is related to the type of love language, to put it in a term we all
Yeah,
like?
yes, absolutely. HQ, I believe that is, but the point that I'm making, the whole overarching point is, I think it's like water and wet. You can't have water and wet, right? So I think companion and love is of the same two things, is what I mean.
You can't
I
have
don't think
water.
it's two separate
You can't have
things.
water and wet.
Like you can't get have water without getting wet.
Yes, you can.
So you can have water in your hand without getting wet.
Water in my hand. I don't. I don't. I think we're going
Water is
down.
wet, right?
No, Water makes things wet. Water itself isn't wet.
Okay, okay. So listen, so
You can make water wet by putting oil on it. Now the water is wet with oil, but water in and of itself is not wet. It makes things wet.
so water's not wet.
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you put water, if water makes things wet and you put water on water, did you make the water wet? No.
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Water is wet.
Jesus. Okay. You
I
can't make.
know. I get you what you're arguing, but it is wet.
No, it makes things wet. It's not wet.
So I have the ability to make something without being.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. If you
Oh,
put,
no.
if you have a wet washcloth, it is wet, saturated with water, and then you put it on water. Did that water you put it on make it wet? No, it didn't. It was already wet. You would have to dry out the washcloth and then introduce water to it to make it wet, which means water makes things wet. Water isn't, and if you wring water out of a washcloth into water, did you make that water more wet? No. Water isn't wet, it makes things wet. Now, if you want to make water wet, you can pour oil on it. Now the surface of the water has been made wet with oil. There's a delineation. It's science. Trust me. Don't go down this road. Let's get back to the conversation. don't get into physics with me. Let's just say it was not. It's not the analogy didn't land. Can you try another one?
I get it. I mean, I get it. The whole point is we went down this rabbit hole when we were talking about whether money or character matters.
Right.
One way or the other. And I'm just saying my stance is character matters more. The money opens the door, but the character is what keeps the door open. That tells me character is more important than money. But not saying money is not important. Money is important. Money is just up there almost as much as character. It's almost as much, but it's maybe just say character is like 65, 70%, and money is probably 30%. Let's put it that way. Because you can have beautiful character and have potential, but you can't have money and be a shitty person, because then nobody wants to be around you, even if you have money.
Agreed. Yeah, character can beget money. Money cannot buy character.
Right.
I definitely disagree that people don't want to be around you if you got shitty character and you got money.
Can money buy character?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I think so.
That's a frightening proposition.
Right. Nobody can make you be a good person.
I get that y'all.
Nobody can make you be a good person. Money doesn't make you be a good person. Money doesn't make you be a bad person.
So hold on. Well, let me break down why I said what I said, right? Because I know it kind of triggered you, right? So listen, do you believe that it's courses out there to teach me how to be a better person?
Not as it relates to.
Hello, no. I just want HQ. I got you, Aaron. We can go. I just want her answer. Do you believe that I can buy a course or I can buy something that teaches me character? Well, because do you? Let me ask you.
No. To put it that way, no. There's nothing that can make you. There's nothing that can teach you morality or nothing that can teach you character.
Perfect. So your argument is that character is not taught. Character is it's almost like the argument of the nurture versus nature conversation. So you believe good character is your nature and it's not something that's nurtured?
Because people believe in the Bible. People like me don't rely on the Bible. And yet and still, I'm a very nice person, regardless of the Bible. It's something that I was born with. It's an innate characteristic of a person. You're either a good person, a person that sees well, does well, thinks of others, or you don't. And there's a lot of people who don't.
I think that's where we disagree. I think good character is taught. Your kids would be bad people unless you teach them to have good character.
Yeah, but they also have to have an instinct to be a good person too.
No, they don't. Listen, I have seen, and like I said, I can be jaded because I was in the military.
Wait a minute, hold on. We had a discussion, or the end of our discussion, Aaron. Remember the end of our discussion with the sociopath, not sociopath, right?
Oh yeah, so sociopath versus psychopath.
Right. Right. So my thing is that most people think if you're a sociopath, psychopath, that those are bad characteristics. But you can also be a good person, but still have the sociopath. I can't.
I think sociopathy is less likely to be a good person, but a psychopath is something that people automatically associate with being a bad person, but it's not necessarily true that they are. A psychopath can have a solid moral compass.
Mm-hmm.
It just is that they don't know how to correctly associate their emotions with their actions, or they're really, really, really deeply dissociate their emotions with their decision making.
So are we saying moral character is the same thing as the character is the same thing as a moral compass?
They're very much similar. Go ahead.
Yeah. But no, because we're getting off track. I have seen people with bad character enlist into the military, go to basic training, and they go out there in them barracks, and they come back with good character.
How do you explain that? How do you explain that?
I think it's taught. I think character's manners is taught. Like if you don't teach, I think everybody got bad character unless you taught how to have good character. I don't think it's something that I woke up out the womb and inside of me I just had good character or bad character. No, I think I'm arguing that it's more nurture than nature.
Wait a minute, what do you think? Zeus, are you there, or do you think? What is your thought on it? Or Aaron? It doesn't matter. So, I think you're born with either that character or you're not.
So I would ask this question, right? When you make an assertion, you have to look at the other side. Let's assume that's correct, E. Then would you say that there are people? What would you say to the idea that there are people out there that attempts to have good character have been made, attempts to teach a person good character, but they've all failed? The person refuses to latch onto those lessons and are still bad people.
Yeah, I think you could refuse teaching. No, so that wasn't my argument, Aaron.
I know. I'm asking you, what do you think about that?
I think you have the right to reject teaching. Like, because I also done seen people join the military and they go through the whole course and they still have bad character. They still want to steal. They still want to do crazy stuff, right? So I'm not arguing that doesn't happen. I definitely see that. I think character is definitely can be purchased, and the younger you are, the better it are. Let me say, because it's something that I think. But I think that when I look at my character, the reason I'm not willing to do something, it wasn't that I was born that way. My grandparents, my mother, they instilled those things and taught those things. Going back to my original point, that it could be purchased if it was sold at the right age.
So here's why I say these conversations are difficult to have when we have them with such an absolute approach. Two things can be true at the same time, right? You can purchase something that fortifies your inherent good character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so good character is something that you would have to have an application to express that good character. I think that's what people teach people. It's by virtue of lesson or by virtue of example that they teach people how to employ their natural propensity to have good character. You're taught how to express that or how to manifest that in your environment and amongst the people that you encounter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like language. You can have thoughts about a thing, but you're taught language so that you can articulate those thoughts. But the thoughts are still yours. If you have a propensity to think bad things or good things, that's based on your own nature. You're nurtured into a position where you can articulate those thoughts effectively. Same thing with character.
Well, that's perfect.
So what you're saying is we naturally come with, some people come naturally with kindness, caring, that kind of thing. But character is actually what you do with those traits here on this planet.
Well, no, but what Aaron is saying, and this is my interpretation, you have both inside of you. You have bad character and good character. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about which one that you nurture to come into existence, right?
Yeah. So no, I'm saying people are inherently bad or good. It's just that when you're taught how to manifest those things, that's when it becomes real to others. Because a person can be taught all the good character in the world they want, but if they're inherently of bad character, they're going to ignore those lessons. Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mhm.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, you know the picture of the angel on one shoulder and the devil.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's inside of every person in their head. Well, they put it on the shoulder, but all of this is happening inside the head. So what I'm saying, all humans are born with bad character and good character. I
Mhm.
just think that it's all about which one is developed. Is the one that shows the most.
You believe they're born with equal amounts of both? You believe that the devil and the angel are the same size and the same potency? You
Right.
don't believe that one could be born, they could be born with more of one or the other?
I just think it's hard to measure it. So I like I can't tell you that this one is 10 times bigger than the other. I don't think it can be measured, right?
No, I'm not
Um,
asking you to quantify. I'm just asking you, do you think that exists? I mean,
do I
whatever
think
the degree is.
no.
Okay.
I think that one. So. Then that's when I start going into, like, I believe in generational things. I think you can inherit certain things, right? Like, it's a reason that we see psychopath. Well, psychopath is not a good example, but you see like a trait of bad character throughout a group of individuals, right? It's not just that, and it seems like it get worse as it goes on. So the point that I'm saying is that I do believe that you can inherit one that is typically more apparent in your family than the other, but I think both of them can be developed. I think you could take the worst person in the world, and if you develop them correctly, you can change their whole mindset. And I think that I could take the best person in the world, who is the best person, and I can put them in chaos, and they be chaotic.
But they're naturally kind, curious, caring personality, or their character, that characteristic, or that part of their nature is always going to come through. So if I was born with a natural characteristic of being a good person, kind, empathetic, and all of that, you can't teach empathy. You cannot teach empathy. You can show them what empathy would look like, but you cannot teach that in a person. So that is the main characteristic that you have to have in order to distinguish you between a good
Well,
person and a bad person.
what
Not
I'm saying is
everybody has.
well, I'm just trying to help you understand. I think your environment have a lot to do with it. I don't seen good people get locked up. I know we think only bad people get locked up, and that person come out of prison a very bad person. I just don't. I think sometimes we think that these things are on the outside of us. I mean, on the inside of us. But I think your outside environment can actually mold you way more than you think it can.
But here's a question: do you think that you're born with certain traits? Do you think you're born with certain temperaments, like a kind temperament, a nice temperament, empathetic person? Do you think people are born with those things? So you're saying there's people who are born with the caring trait, the stubborn trait, the curious trait, the kind trait, the empathy trait. But if they put it in a certain environment, they can shut all of those things off and be mean because they're being taught to be mean.
Yeah, I think most people are more a blank canvas, and your life kind of dictate who you are based on how you was raised.
Oh, okay. I'm just disagreeing with you.
Yeah. I get that you thinking that it's already into people.
Yes.
I think most people are blank canvas. I think they're blank canvas, and what people don't understand is that as parents, we're writing their story. I think the environment, like, it's almost take, like, if I was to take all the boys that was raised in the if I think I took all the boys that was raised in the hood environment, and I was to
Mhm.
put them into like a suburb or better environment, I think majority, we're not talking absolutes, majority of them would turn out 10 times better because of their environment. But no absolutes. I ain't talking 100% of the time. I want to make sure, because you still could take that same boy, put him in a rich environment, and he still go bad. That's not. I'm not talking in absolutes. I want to make that clear.
Okay. I think you're born. I think you're born with the character. I think you're born with empathy and the kindness and the caring and you're born with those particular traits, and you can either suppress those or they get flourished depending on what you're taught. And you cannot be taught to be kind. You cannot be taught to be caring. You cannot be taught to be empathetic. You cannot be taught to be a person that cares about other people. You cannot be taught to do those. You can pretend. I mean, sociopaths do it all, or is it sociopath or psychopath?
Yeah, you got it. Keep going. You're on it.
You could be taught. You could pretend. You can put on a facade and pretend that you have those things. And a lot of people can be taught to pretend to have those things.
But hold
But
on,
that-
so I just want to make sure I hear you. So you said you don't think I can teach my child how to be kind or mean?
They have to be up to them to employ with those lessons. I mean, you can teach them how to do it, and they can
Mhm.
know how to do it. But whether or not your lesson is useful to the world around them is up to them.
I know, but I'm trying to understand HQ point. She's saying that you cannot be taught to be kind. So that means that's something that cannot be taught, correct?
no.
No
I,
absolutes. No
I don't
absolutes.
know how I'm saying. I don't know how to express exactly what I'm saying. I mean, people are born with a certain sentiment. People are born with a certain temperament, and maybe you're born to be curious and kind and all of these things. But character makes you decide what you do with all of those things. Yeah, you can be taught. You can't teach me to be a mean person. You can
What?
teach me. No, I'm sorry. You can teach me to be a mean person, but I would never inherently think to do that. Would not be my go-to. My go-to would be a kind person. I'm saying you have go-tos, you have inherent things that you have feelings for, innate things. You're either a good person innately or a bad person
Hold on,
innately.
so
It works, but
because I got kids under 5.
excuse me.
So I'm trying to understand your point. If I see my daughter go over and push your kid to do this, and I sit down to her and say, "Hey, uh, I got at that age, I have a high level of influence over my kids, right?" And I said,
Mhm.
"Hey, that's not right. That's not how we act." And I start teaching her what kindness look like. You said that I can't teach her, or vice versa. I tell my daughter at the park, go push that little kid over in the sandbox. I'm literally teaching them how to be kind or how to be mean. I'm
Mhm.
literally teaching them that as a parent.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, but are you you're not teaching kindness inherently. You're teaching them how to be. Like I said, you're teaching them the mechanism of it. You're not teaching them that as a trait. You're teaching them how to employ it.
Mhm.
Okay,
They
yeah, I
have to
get.
decide to use it.
Well, no,
Mhm.
no, that's what I'm saying. I think when we talk about how we measure these things, right? Because measuring these things is based on your action outwardly, right? Acting on kindness, right? Like for me to know that you're kind, you have to have a kind act, correct?
No,
Okay, how do I measure someone kindness without their actions?
I mean it can be the absence of an action. I can be kind. Someone may be hard up on their money, on their luck, right? And they may set out on a warpath to rob and steal from everyone they encounter. But kindness is what keeps them from doing that. Now, to any other person, they would say, "You've done nothing kind. You've done nothing but walk by me." No, walking by me without attempting to snatch your wares is the kind act.
Okay, so action or not action
Or inaction, correct.
or inaction. Okay, cool. Let me give you that, right? Because inaction, in my opinion, you not doing something is the action. The restraint of not doing it is an action, right? In my mind. But I get you. You might think different, right? But it's still what you're doing or not doing. It's not for us to measure it. It's not. You can't measure kindness.
That's kind of what we're saying. That's the part that you're born with. That's the part that's intangible. That's exactly what we're saying. The part you can measure is the lesson you've been taught. But whether or not you're going to employ that lesson and how well you do is immeasurable. That's
But
exactly the point.
I think that the point that I'm making in that mean everyone now I'm speaking in absolutes. Everybody is born with kindness.
To a degree, yes.
Okay, all right. So you agreeing? Okay, now we're on the same page. You're agreeing the whole analogy of the devil and the angel. Everyone have that. To what degree that you have it at is kind of what
The
makes you
unknown.
operate.
Yeah, that right. Exactly. That's why I said which one's bigger. We don't know.
We don't know. Okay, I get that. I get that kindness is in everybody, but I think the act of being kind, I think I'm talking more of is taught. And so that goes back to character. The act of I don't think men just naturally are providers and protectors. I don't think I know that we say that those things are just natural, and if you take a boy, he's just gonna do it. I think the act of protection and security is actually taught by other men. What do you think about that?
Yeah, but that's an act. That's not a propensity, right? So I believe everyone is born mostly selfish, right? You have to be as a baby. You're not in a position to not be selfish. All you do is eat, and people clean up after you, right? So things have to be information and skills have to be imparted on you, and you have to be taught these things. But there's an inherent component in you that exists that gets triggered as you're taught these lessons that shapes the way you employ those lessons. As you learn how to employ kindness, then it becomes more measurable the probability that you're going to employ that kindness. It's in it, you cannot discern that from a baby, but it's in there. It's
So,
just that
so
these lessons they reveal them.
I got you. So you don't believe in rehabilitation?
Yeah, I believe in rehabilitation, but again, that starts with a naturally existing propensity that gets moved away from. It's like alcoholism. No one's an alcoholic until you become an alcoholic. But once you're an alcoholic, you're a lifelong alcoholic, even if you never take a drink again. Same thing.
So, but that's what I'm saying. If you believe in rehabilitation, you have to believe that you can teach character.
No.
Because
The car
character,
is
Like
spinning.
I
The
said, with an
car is spinning.
alcoholic, it's I believe in rehab, not redesign is what you're suggesting. There's something to maintain there. When an alcoholic becomes an alcoholic, that's rehabilitative, but that doesn't mean they're no longer an alcoholic, which is what you're suggesting. You can't teach that. You can teach skills and things to put that in check and keep it there, but you have to perpetually maintain that. You're not changing you're not changing the stripes on that tiger into spots. It's still a striped tiger. You just
but no
dyed his ass
purpose.
black, and you need to
But
maintain that.
But Aaron, that's perfect. That means that everybody have a level of character. It just need to be rehabilitated. Going back to our original point that character can be bought.
No, no. You can buy things to reveal or fortify character, but if your character is in there in a degree where you cannot program around it, then you're stuck. To say character can be bought is an absolute statement.
I know. So what I'm saying is everything come down to your will. Like, okay, I'm not saying that
Will, you said your will?
your will. Like,
Yeah.
we can't override your will.
There we
All right.
go.
I'm agreeing to that statement, right?
There you go.
What I'm saying, if I'm sitting on the edge of my bed and I'm like, man, I don't know how to be a good person. I feel like I have a lot of bad character. I believe good character inside of me. I believe I can go to Aaron and say, Aaron, I'm going to give you X amount of dollar to teach me how to to control my bad character and to be able to activate my good character. Do you agree that's possible?
Yes, I agree. I also agree that decision is of good character, which you didn't purchase. You're purchasing ways to manifest it. But that decision in and of itself is of good character. If it was of bad character, you wouldn't give a shit.
So, but you do believe people can change from bad character to good characters?
Yeah, I mean, if their bad character and good character are closely, if the measurements of each are close, yes. But if your bad character clearly, outshines your good character, I believe you can mask it, you can fake it, but I don't believe it will. You can genuinely make that so. No.
Well, I get Aaron's point now. So Aaron's point is saying that good character is technically inside of everyone. So
Yeah.
since you already have it, you can't buy it.
Correct. You can
And what I
fortify it, but you can't buy it. You got it.
so what I'm saying, a person that has good character that's buried or not used can be fortified or brought to the top.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean about, because if it's an absolute that everyone already has it, right? What it means is that it can't be bought. But what I'm saying is, in the conversation, when we look at a person with a lot of money that doesn't have good character, it's just buried in the need to be fortified out.
Right. Now, which do you think is more likely to happen? Character leading you to money, or money buying character for those who don't have good character? Because to have a lot of money and to go seek to buy good character means there already has to be some good character in you. That's not a decision that someone of poor character would even make. You see, but if you have good character and you're faced with a position, you're put in a position where you're responsible for others, you're going to go make the money happen.
Well, the reason that this is an interesting conversation, because the reason I even wanted to have a conversation is because I've been studying. You see bad people who connects to God, or some people like to say a higher being. They change from being bad to good, right? It's like a, and I know everybody just doesn't happen, but we done seen people who was horrible people that become good people.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I start asking these questions is based on the relationship dynamics that we're talking about. You say, is it easier for someone with good character to get money, or somebody with bad character with a lot of money to get good character? I think the deciding factor for both of those things is wanting the will to get it. So a person with good character have to have the will to get more money, or the person
Mhm.
with bad character, with a lot of money, have to want the will to get good character.
I'm glad you said that. That will
Mm,
to get good character is born from inherent good character. That
mm.
decision is a decision made of good character.
So
Let's get triple.
the
Let's
will to
get
get
triple
go ahead.
or Black America in it. I said, let's get triple or Black America. Triple.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to the panel. Salute to everybody. Yeah, Aaron. So this is an interesting conversation I walked in. So what would you say for somebody like Malcolm X, who kind of started out on the rough foot, street hustling, robbing? I mean, he went to jail ultimately for kidnapping and robbing and stuff. And then he did 10 years or whatever and got out. And then he was, because of the organization he got with, he completely did a 180 and became, one of the greats. So, yeah, his character and everything. What would you say to that?
Excellent question. And I was just thinking about something like that as me and Eda Man were talking. So I'm glad you asked. I think what that is a person with good character falling victim to being a product of their environment. What happens is you do have people that are born with good character innately, but there's no chance to display it. There's no lesson on how to display it, right? They're just born in a bad situation and they're forced to adapt to it and learn bad things, enact bad things. But once you show them that there's, a way to be kind and a methodology or a mechanism that you can, employ that kindness with, then they'll rapidly be drawn to it and use it successfully. And usually that's what you end up with, a Malcolm X, someone that, a level of altruism and kindness to a cause that's righteous, that, they blow us all out of the water.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
definitely
that's
one
the
of the
ultimate.
goats, man. I honestly, I don't think I even deserve the right to be bringing him up, to be honest.
Right.
One of
But
the
yeah,
goats, man,
most
for
folks
sure.
that are like that come from bad circumstances but were inherently good, once they're shown good, that's the result. They become monumentally good.
So
Black America.
yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna get Black America in here.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Okay.
the same. Black America.
Yeah. All right. So this is a awesome conversation. Shout out to Eda Man and Aaron. So I don't agree with Eda Man much, but on this thing about character and money, I have to give it to him. We all know with our children, right? We all got children except for Lex, right? We have put them in certain places and positions in life so that they could flourish and excel at different things. For instance, Jack and Jill, right? Or with you going to private school, HQ, that is paying for your child's character. I know you guys don't like it, but that's paying for a level of influence. It is paying for a level of character. When Eda Man said going to the military, I've been in boot camp and I've been in prison. And let me tell you something. Boot camp teaches you discipline, which is a byproduct of the discipline is character. And then when you come to prison or you go to prison and you're around that environment and you're thrust into something that is going to make you do something, I'm sorry, HQ, there is no way to stopping it. You can't go into prison and be a nice person anymore. You can't go sharing your snacks. You can't go bumming cigarettes and thinking you can get something from somebody. You just can't do it. It turns you into a savage. My dad, and I'm sure a lot of dads have said this old parable. You got, just like E-Man said about the angel and the devil, you got two dogs fighting inside of you. Which one wins? It is the one that you feed. So that comes from nurture. Whatever you grow up learning, kids aren't inherently racist, but if their parents teach them racism and how to be racist, then that's what those children will be. They're not gonna just be good people because they were taught to be racist and to be hateful and to be bigoted. There is a level of good and bad in every one of us as people. The thing about it is, which one do you feed? Which side of the coin is going to get the most attention? And that's and I, so. But I love it. I like the way you guys tried to have that conversation. Though that was awesome. And both you guys were right. Aaron is right, and you know, and Eda Man is also right. Both you guys are right, but what it is I'm standing 50 yards up and Aaron is standing 100 yards up. It's just a different vantage point. We see two totally different things. I can see what he doesn't see, and he can see some things that I can't see. So both of them are absolutely right. They're just looking at it from two different angles. So
Yeah, and that was kind of my point was, if good and bad is inside of me, if good character and bad character is inside of me, that means the nurture part is very important because both of these beasts are inside. So the nurture is going to dictate whether I'm a good person or a bad person. It's not how HQ was saying that I was born one or the other, both are inside.
So how do we explain a person that gets beat, gets raped, gets treated like a ex-slave and just treated like trash, and yet they still have feelings of humanity, or they still have a human entity in their gene? How do we do that?
Who's saying those people are? Do you? And so I didn't want to touch this, but most of those people, they visit those same atrocities on other people. HQ. It all comes down.
I'm saying people who don't do that. There's people who have come from circumstances where you would probably lose your mind if you had to deal with those circumstances overseas during war, because of war, things they had to do, and yet they still come out and they still have empathy, sympathy, and they still have kindness and character in them. So they were taught all the things you said had to be taught, and yet and still they came out and they were different. So that cannot be a foot. That cannot be true on you.
I'm telling you, that is a small percentage. Most men that go and see action, most men, they get PTSD. Do you know what those men that get PTSD do? They then pass that PTSD down to their children. It's a documented thing. And like I said, it's all proven, it's all documented, even from our era as in the Vietnam era. They are not unscathed. They don't come out clean. And the percentage of people that do that, they are the lucky ones. It's such a small number of of people that come out unscathed and don't have to go to.
So can you say that the world has more people who have the different types of trait that I
Hello?
was explaining? Do you think it's more people on the planet that have the caring empathetic trait than the other traits, or who than anybody else? Simply because the planet would be overrid with the other side. If why would I choose me? People choose. Are you saying they have both of these characteristics in them, the bad ones and the good ones, and most people choose the good ones? Is that
No,
what we're?
they don't. They don't choose the good ones. It is whatever is allowed to be. If you go to get in a bad situation, HQ, you're going that bad part is going to come out of you. If you are forced into something that's going to happen to you, a bad person is going to come out of you. You're not going to stay that happy. Yeah, you're not so you're not going to stay that happy-go-lucky, joyous person. And then when you come out of that situation, you're not going to come back to that joyous, happy person. You're not going to. It
I
doesn't
just
come
don't.
back.
I just don't think you have the. I don't think you're. I would more than likely buy the fact that we have both of those characteristics in us, but most of us choose, or most of us have more of a predilection for the kindness and the caring side as opposed to the other side. I can't really figure out which one would be the truth or not, because I don't
Well,
have these kind of things in there. If somebody, no, I just had to tell you, so some people, if you threaten a person or you do this, then another character or another person side of them will come out. I get that, but most of us don't live over there where we are constantly talking and feeding that side.
I, so I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna jump off. HQ. Half
Mhm.
of us live over there. Half of us live over there, and half of us don't. And I'm going to explain it to you. When me, Aaron, Eda Man, Lex, when we walk into a store, we look at everybody in that store and take account. Okay, this guy has a limp. This guy has a bulge under. This guy is 6'2". This guy is 190 pounds. This guy is 225. We look at the threat assessment of every individual in that store. And if I'm wrong, the guys can say something. But as a man, this is what we take into the account. As women, you guys are oblivious to it. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to look for it, and you don't look at it the same way that we do. So, for you saying it, yes, I can understand why you're saying it. But for men, we don't live in the same place that you live. Not in our lives and not in our minds. We absolutely don't. But I'm gonna go back down and watch from the clouds.
No, so I
Yeah.
want to answer your
Yo.
question, HQ.
Oh.
Just real
Yeah.
quick. The
Mhm.
reason that most people are on one side than the other because it's law. If they came out today and said murder was okay, imagine they said it's no penalty for murder, and they said that you can murder people. I think that people you that's on that bad side, it's a lot would show themselves. So
Yeah.
so a lot of people are contained to one side out of fear. They don't want to go to jail. They don't want to be like it's certain things that fear keeps them on one side more than the other. But if it was like a free for all and you can do one side or the other, I actually think more people would choose evil than good.
You think so, Aaron?
Not even close.
I don't. I can't with that.
To think that opposes evolutionary psychology, right? We are a pack animal. We're not individuals. So with our survival being predicated on the health and condition of the pack, we must first be more concerned with that to ensure our survival. I'm not saying there aren't bad actors and unsavory individuals. And I'm not saying that if you loosen up the laws that they won't be further emboldened. They will be. But to cross the threshold of 50% of the people are bad versus 50% of the people are good, which is what you would have to do to discern that most folks are evil, I don't see that happening, because then that would be the demise of mankind, period. And we would not have evolved to this state if that were inherently in us. We would have taken ourselves out long ago. We're trying to take ourselves out with nuclear power, and we haven't yet.
Yeah, I got it. That's because the average person don't have access to nuclear power. Let's be clear. Listen, if anybody said they had a button in the middle of the city and anybody can go press that button would have been pressed a long time ago.
No,
Listen,
I think you missed the point, though.
no, I get the overall point you saying. You're saying that I believe that you're saying that it's two different things are being said. I'm saying that I believe most people are good because the environment forced them to be good. You're saying that most people care about the survival of mankind, so most people are good, correct?
No. What I'm saying is it is the survival of mankind is proof or evidence that most people are good. Because there have been times in history where people were not bound by law to uphold any sort of goodness. Yet we've done that, and here we are. In fact, those people were conquered by people that were bound by law. The people with the most laws and most organization were the ones running around taking out the people least bound by law. People that were inherently good and worked on the good of their, community. If you look at some of the Native communities, they're the ones that accepted with open arms the people that had the most sophisticated laws in and got defeated.
Well, I got you. Well, let me ask this question, Aaron. If it was no crime for grape, do you think it'd be more grapes or less grapes?
More.
All right. So, but you believe it only would be a small group of men doing it, or you think it'd be the majority of men doing it?
So when you say small group versus majority is 51% or more of the men would be enacting grape.
Yes.
No, I do not believe 51% or more of the men on this planet would be perpetrators of grape. That's insane. That means that how many people we got? We got 4 men up here. 2 men of the 4 on the panel have a propensity to enact grape. I don't think so.
What you think, HQ?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so, brother.
I believe you're either born with that goodness or you're not, and then it'll show when you're under pressure. You know what I'm saying? It would show under pressure because some men just would not do that. It would go against everything inside of them to do something like that. So even though it would be not legal, no, I don't think so.
Well, the reason I'm saying what I'm saying, see, I understand. I think the minority of people control the majority of people.
Because the minority of us are good people, and we have to do what do you mean? Say it. I mean, spell it out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think that it only take a small group of good people to control the majority of people. When you start thinking about guns,
you think it's a small group of us good people that control the bad people?
Absolutely.
So you think 51% or more on the planet, if given the opportunity, would perpetrate the act of grape?
I think what I'm saying is I think that we don't know.
I think there's nothing in history that would serve as evidence to that would suggest that.
Because you're saying that men or women, people who do this grape, you're saying those people legally.
I don't think 51% of men could maintain a level of arousal if put in those circumstances necessary to be a perpetuator of said heinous crime. I think once they indulge in that kind of activity, they lose, you know what I mean, the ability to even finish the job. It's not even no. I think that's a
I
wild.
mean, maybe we're looking at it naively. You think we're looking at it naively?
Me or him?
E. Because I believe that most of us are good people, or we have the propensity to be good, and we have the empathy and the sympathy not to do something like that. That's what I think. You're saying you don't think that's that mean. You think it's more than 50% that don't have that particular thought pattern.
Yeah, I think the reason we have laws and commandment is because people will do them if you told them not to do it. If it wasn't rules or regulations on why you couldn't do things, people would do it.
I
Apparently,
think
that's what you think, Ty Pro.
AE, I think ultimately history would tell us that what you're saying actually isn't true. And you know why? There were times where there were not as many laws and or no laws at all, and it was never at an extreme level where like the bulk of men were enacting in grape.
Not even half.
Not even half, man. So even if they abolish all laws now and men could go do out what they want with no risk, would the numbers climb a little bit? Maybe, possibly, but I don't think it's gonna go to half based on what happened in the past, man.
The reason that I'm saying what I'm saying is because I don't know the exact number, but I think if you go back 100 years ago, they said 80% of the women were this.
But that doesn't mean 80% of men perpetuated it though.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so you believe that it was like one man running around the city doing this to a whole bunch of people?
Yeah.
It's called being a serial rapist.
Serialist, yes.
Yep, serial rapist.
I don't think so.
Wow.
I don't think it was a 1-to-1. Hell no.
No.
If I can jump in.
Go ahead.
There's a movie called Quest for Fire, and it addresses this issue that you're talking about. It addresses it like in the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie.
Quest for Fire?
Quest for Fire. It's no
Is that
talking.
the one with the English guy, or was that the troglodytes?
The troglodytes.
Okay.
And pretty much the whole DNA of the universe aligns differently with this conversation. So it's a self-correcting problem that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on, you gotta tell us what happened in the movie because I'm still confused on what was the result of the movie. What did it show?
It was
pretty much it was
fire, right?
It's called Quest of Fire. Pretty much, there's a clan of cavemen, cave women. There's a tribe, and the alpha. Whenever he doesn't like something, he takes his power and rapes somebody. And when they mix clans, they stop that. And they show him there's a better way to handle those issues. Because rape isn't a sexual act, as Aaron is applying to. It's a power issue.
No. I think we're getting so caught up. We getting so caught up in the grape, right? That's not what it is. What I'm saying, the whole conversation is good character versus bad character. I just used that as an example. I think if laws or commandments was not in place, more people would be more willing to nurture their bad character side than their good character side. That's the conversation. The one was just an example to explain the conversation that we was having.
I understand. Can I comment on that if I can, please?
Yes, sir.
And I didn't mean to derail it by throwing that movie out there.
No.
So when I hear you guys speak of that, there's a group called the Behavioral Panelists. And I want to say there's 6 guys on there that are global human behavior experts. And what pretty much the layout is, your human DNA, you have all the characteristics inside of you. They have to be activated. So when you have people who are super liars, that's activated. So a lot of times in the trial, you'll hear them say something that happened that was catastrophic or traumatic in their childhood that activated their goodness, their negative, or their evilness. But we all have those characters. It's just whether it's activated within our genes by an act. With that said, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, we all got the propensity for violence. You know, if I run up in Aaron's house, give me your woman. You know, look, it's gonna be on and cracking. You know, and he's a calm dude, but he gonna go from mild to wild real quick. So that's just how it goes. You know. Look, I don't want to downplay. I get the gist of what he's saying. I think this is a scenario where a lot of things, everything pretty much Aaron's saying is right, and a lot of things what E is saying is also correct. You know, so you know this is just one of those things. It's definitely a great conversation. I do agree with what Black America said too. Going to jail, because I got older cousins. And all of them went to jail. So that really does something to you. You know, watching people do petty stuff before, when they get out, they weren't the same anymore, especially after they had been more than once. Like, they definitely weren't the same anymore. And they still ain't even the same today. And that was like 30, 40 years ago when they first got out, you know? So... yeah, that really does something to you. It turns you into a savage. It turns you into straight attack mode on everybody, even family. So, yeah, it really does something to you. So I'm with Black America on that. Yeah, you definitely ain't coming out to be no nice guy. You know, I think it's exceptions to that. And like you say, if you really, really, really got that in you, like Aaron mentioned about Malcolm X, and you get with the right guys and the right cover in the right situation, that could really be nurtured and developed, you know. But like, I've seen people come out and they've walked into those similar situations and they've done even worse. So yeah, for sure.
All right. Thank you guys. I need your final thoughts. I just got a phone call. Final thoughts, E, please, and thank you. E? Aaron.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I just think that sometimes when we have this conversation, we want to focus on the things that we cannot control.
Right.
And we need to focus on things that we can control. I think that goes to the orbit conversation. That goes to good character versus bad character.
Right.
I think a lot of people use the excuse that it just wasn't in my cards. No, it's inside of you. You just need to understand how to pull that type of person up out of you. So
give us your first assessment about money and character. Tell us.
I think when it comes down to my true assessment is, I think that you have to have, you really have to have both. Like, to be balanced in a relationship, we always try to ask, like, which one is more and better. And when you just tell people to have balanced relationship, to have money and character, I really feel like it's a cop out to get women to settle. That they say, just take the character without the money, right? So, no, you need both women. Ladies, get both. Get character and money. And I'm not saying he have to be rich, but he got to be able to at least provide for you a family or sustain a family to be in the marriage, in my opinion.
I know that's right. Zeus? Thank you, E. Zeus?
What would you like to know?
No, I'm saying you can expound on that character and money. Which one is important to you and why?
I'm going to always say character is the most important.
But
and I say, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm going to say character. I'm going to say Lex is the best politician in the game. He likes everybody. Anyway,
The black JFK.
I will say that character is the cornerstone. The money is always going to test your character. It doesn't matter if you work a corporate job, they're going to have you do things you hope don't come back, and it's going to test your character. Doesn't matter if it's OF, don't matter if it's that one guy, that one girl that you date. Money is always the root that's going to test everybody's character. You have to constantly keep building your character work as you go through life. With that said, I'm in.
Absolutely.
And I got stories.
Aaron.
Yes. Look, both are necessary to survive, but I think character is a qualification of who you are. Money is simply a quantifier to determine what you are. At the end of the day, money, or your character will never put money in jeopardy. Money can reveal the character that is within you. When money goes away, which it can and will, it hasn't lasted forever, and has not existed forever. When it does, character is the one thing that you'll have left to survive.
Okay.
Money is a man-made construct. Character is how we treat one another. Put character first. If the character's good, the money will come.
So we're aiming for both, not necessarily outrageous thing. And he did say something earlier. Your dating pool or your orbiters are your best bet to get what you want when it comes to a relationship. People that you surround yourself with, people that you know, that you interact with every day, every other day, whatever. Those are your best bet. But 9 times out of 10, the women don't want the orbiters because men or women don't want the orbiters because they feel as though they're better than those orbiters. But I'm saying, and he's saying, that might be your best bet for what you're looking for. Triple.
Can I, before Triple says something, can I jump in, HQ?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
What helps us build character? Like, what would be some things you would think of? I would think sports was a really big help for character. And I think playing sports that I didn't excel at and still staying with it helped me build character. With that said, I'm in. Any kind of tribal thing where you have to go through a hierarchy.
Triple.
Okay, yeah. I would like to say money simply is a magnifier. You know, it's a big giant magnifying glass. You know, if you just got $10 million after taxes to that person, that's gonna be a magnifying glass as large as a 70-inch TV on that person. So you really get to see who they really are with no reservation. The most unfiltered, most comprehensive version of that person that has ever existed before will exist. Will exist. Because in that situation, the only thing that could really go at them at that moment is the law. That's it. Other than the law, there's nothing else you can go. You can't be like, I'll fire you. You gonna lose your job. You know, you can't come at them like that. You know, so the version of that person you're getting ready to experience is gonna be the real, most unfiltered version of that person you've ever encountered. So
when they have money,
when they have money, you know, money.
And I can't. I will say.
Go ahead.
I will say our example. We have a clear-cut example. P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Front and center.
Bing, bing, bing.
Bing, 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 bing. Yep. That's a prime example.
That's a prime example. And it's a magnifying glass into what that person will and won't do behind closed doors in person with all of that money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my perspective on that. Is that this character conversation is very interesting. I wish I'd have came in a little earlier. It's a couple more angles I would have liked to came at it about it, but I'll keep it for next time. And but great conversations as always.
Thank you guys.
HQ, let me give you something.
Go Zeus.
So when you talk about Diddy,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about upper millionaire, upper billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that don't happen to a lot of that range of folks.
Right.
That is it's called a ritual. When you see Bill Cosby, that's a ritual.
Wait a minute. Here's the question. Another question, and just a food for thought. All of those people got money. Not all of them do the degenerate things. Now,
You almost got my point. You almost got my point.
They have access to all of the things that the world has to offer, except changing the law, except being subject to that. That's the only thing they're subject to. Other than that, they have no boundaries or no barriers or anything. Yet and still, we have good people who have money, but we have a smaller portion that act like they do. So they're on both sides. It's just activated how? Okay. Well, I would be a fool. I'd be acting a straight fool if I had a whole bunch of money, but most of us won't. Okay. E said if we had the opportunity to act up or have the opportunity to go to the bad side, we would. All of these people have the opportunity to go to the bad side, but they chose not to.
Hey, HQ. Yeah, well, question I would like to raise is I wonder if you get every black person in the U.S. $1 million, what would be the response to that?
Their character, with their true character, would show itself.
Magnifying glass. Yep. Magnifying glass on 10. Right. Absolutely. So
but whatever that magnifies is already inside of you, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would just be an extreme version of what you know. Like I already know people, they low down, etc. Mm-hmm. I will really see them an extreme version of that. Even more talk, even more savageness, and everything. And what's funny thing is that would be what end up getting them caught up too, right? Because they would get too bold.
HQ, do you guys remember Lance Armstrong?
Yes. The white guy who was a biker.
Right. He got caught and they was doing a raid on his house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, they were doing a raid on him 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they got to 80%, almost there, it got called off.
Mm.
Now, why do you think it got called off? That guy was worth, I want to say, like $800 million. Mm-hmm. Not him himself, but that's how much product he brought in.
Right.
He had insiders call it off, but his ego kept him going till he finally got caught. Because he retired, came out of retirement, and kept doing the same madness. He had insiders everywhere. Right. Even with the FBI.
And you chose to do what you did. You chose to do that. There's a lot. It's not. I don't know. I still think it's something that you're born with. That's inside of you, and it's not something that it
gets activated. It's activated.
I think it's being born with one or the other. That's it.
I think it's nurtured and developed from a very young age. In a lot of cases, that's what I think. I mean, the Diddy thing is just a great point, a great reference point, because if you think about it, for years he was able to do what he wanted to do on that front. But once he got bold and he tried to he got too bold, like I just said. When you got that money, you become an extreme version of yourself, but you get reckless. He got reckless to think he could go at guys in a group that was worth 20, 30 billion, and he barely worth 1 billion. Those people got incredible influence and inside connects. That and blackmailing other actors and entertainers that also are friends with these people. Then they like, hey, FBI, run up in this spot. And he got what he got. He got ahead of himself.
Right.
If he would have just laid low, hey, he might still be doing what he's doing now. Who knows?
There's another gentleman I'll bring in, and I'll end with this. You might know him, you might not. His name is Harvey Weinstein.
Yes.
The framework of everybody talking about Dubai, that's Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
All those sporting events coming over to the major, like they're having a NBA preseason over there. They're having all the big boxing events. That's all him.
Mm-hmm.
All the top fashion shows, that's all him.
Mm.
He was building that framework, but he also was ruthless of his nonsense. He wasn't doing a little nonsense that they could cover up.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him endless money to create worlds.
See,
So much
right.
that he was getting super. They was like, hey, you gotta go. You gotta go. Look into that. Those
Yeah.
Maxine, and Epstein's, those people aren't new.
No.
With that said, I'm in.
Yeah, HQ, I'll let you shut it down. Some more I'm gonna say, but we'll be up here another hour.
All right. Thank you guys for coming up. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
guys.
gotta go. You know I gotta go. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it all. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Triple. Thank you. I thank you all for showing up. I love these kind of discussions. I would love to post a topic. Somebody put a name in the back of the chat one time. It was of a female, but I couldn't remember what it was, and I don't know how to go back and find it. It was some female, because I said I was going to talk about Obama's and something, and then they put a female's name in there, and I couldn't figure out how to go back and get that female's name. Maddie, Hattie, some female, but I couldn't figure out who it was. It was a scandal towards her or something. Because I put it there because I put my email in, and I said, email me something if you want me to do a review on it. Email it to me or do a live on it, and I'll do a live on it. But I couldn't remember. I couldn't figure out how to get back. So if anybody remembers who that was and where it was and what it was, please put it back in the chat so I can remember and do it. I thank you all. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got one more thing. What is it? Oh, here it is. There she is, Dark Star 1485, member for 1 month. Happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you, Dark Star. Thank you very much. Thank you all. You know I'm not going live anymore this evening. I got something else to do. I will talk to you all later. Thank you for showing up. Thank you.